What up, everyone? So, yeah, I wasn't planning on going live tonight, but I kind of have to. And this is at the point where it all has to end. There's no doubt that after everybody attacking each other and stuff that still goes on, whether it be from the past year or the past 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, or maybe even 10 years, definitely want to move forward. That's one thing. Forgetting the past and wanting to move forward. That is for sure. Yes, I can agree to that. But the only way to really forget and forgive, or whatever you want to call it, as a few hours ago, my phone started blowing up like, geez Louise. Like, geez, like, I don't know I didn't know what was going on. I was just enjoying my day, relaxing, and all of a sudden I get distracted by some crazy shit. So hopefully some of the people that I speak of in this chat, hopefully it'll be the last time. I really want it to be the last time. I really do. A lot of these people I don't give a damn about. I could care less. I've given them chances. Fucked up. I put up with a lot of their shit. So we'll get down to it. I know a lot of people are watching. We got 11 people now. So as a start, I know quite a few of them are trolls. They're not going to say anything. They're just going to sit back and listen. So that's just fine. I don't really plan on letting anybody into the panel, or if a certain someone who begins with a C wants to come on and talk, maybe I'll let that person in. I don't know. So, but the thing is, when we get to it, now, I saw the video, I listened to the video earlier that the fucking, whoever, you can call it, asylum shit or Christian or whatever the fuck. I listened to that shit. So I was sent the video. I'm like wondering what the fuck is this about. Apparently it's a video on me, and apparently it's going to be a series because in the title it said part 1, so it might be another part 2, 3, 4, or 5, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. So it's fucking insane. So apparently these people are not going to let shit go. For me, I'm willing to let shit go, but the best way for me to do it is to let everything out. Even though there's certain stuff I never wanted to say, but I feel like I got to get it out. I got to speak of it. Because I do want to move it on. A lot of you guys also want to move on. I know people like, I talked with ITB, people like Elder and other people. We talked about this. So we'll go ahead and do that. We're going to go ahead and do it. And now we got 17 people. So, and you guys got questions, you feel free to ask. So, got no problem answering questions. Because if you guys got questions, feel free to ask. Because I'm not going to respond to any more questions of what I speak of after tonight. I don't. So I hope you guys understand that. Before you do, let me respond to a message real quick on Instagram. I want to get this taken care of. Give me a second. I put a voting poll in the chat. Basically, it's pretty much a yes or no. Simple thing is, should I forgive and forget the people I speak of? So allow me to speak of the people before you decide to vote. Apparently, there's already been 13 votes. So I'm hoping maybe you guys could hold on to your vote just a little bit. Then we'll talk. Then you make your votes. So anyway, get back to it. So anyway, I saw the freaking what do you call it? I saw the video. I listened to the stream, and it was Rick and Jay and Crystal as always. I'm guessing they saw the video I did yesterday. Now I'm gonna have to explain this one more time. A lot of people understood why I spoke about it, but apparently these people don't, or they kind of did, but they didn't want to speak of it. So. First off, Tariq and Jay, you stupid, deluded, gutless fuck. It's obvious you're not saying everything, especially what I told you. I even told you I was going to go live yesterday. I offered for you to come on and talk with me one-on-one. You are not blocked on YouTube. I mean, hell, if you were blocked on YouTube, you wouldn't be able to comment. I wouldn't be able to see it. You had the power to message me whenever you wanted. I have Twitch, I have Instagram, and you had the open opportunity to come on my show yesterday and be able to come on and talk to me one-on-one. It wouldn't be that hard. So the thing is, I got to say, man, I mean, you have a history of people have called you out and they've offered to talk to you one-on-one, but you never do it. I mean, I thought it would have been easy. I mean, it was just me and Double Z yesterday. I know Double Z, I could put him backstage if you wanted to or whatever. But that's not the case. Instead, you did exactly what other people said you were going to do. You were going to watch the video, you were going to troll it, and you're going to make a response, and then you're going to do this, this, and that. And like I said, I seen your video. It says part 1 in the title, so it's obvious you're going to make another response to this and that. So I'll tell you what. Make another response. Make 20, 30, 50, 1,000 if you want to after this. Because after tonight, I'm telling you, dude, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I do not want anything. I don't want nothing. Like I've put up with y'all before. I put up with your group shit for the past year. I tried to get away from drama. I tried to get away from a lot of shit. But people like you and your buddies have kept on just like bringing me in, bringing me back in, sending me videos all the fucking time, whether it be about Charlie or about Will or whoever. And I will take responsibility because I did fall into it and I did take the bait and doing response and getting involved and all that other shit. So it is what it is. So, and we got people in the chat. The thing's going like crazy. Got 20 people. So we got what's happening now. Who is the bishop? Starting with you again. I'll tell you what. I'll let ZTV, if you want to come in, you want to talk, because I think have at least someone with intelligence, even though you're not really black, so people say. So I'm going to let this white guy, as we call it, come on the thing. So GTV, if you want to come on, I'll let you in. I'm not letting a whole bunch of people on. Forget that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to let the topic be changed. Okay. So get that in. But what I said yesterday, I said what I said. And we also put another thing too. I listened to. I know some of the stuff you said. Now I don't know what the hell who brought this up. I don't know who said this. I don't know if it was Daniela herself or somebody. But somebody said apparently I sent pictures to her or explicit pictures to Daniela. Let me clarify. That never happened. Never sent her anything explicit. She never sent me anything explicit, and I certainly never asked. A lot of you guys know we did the stream where I showed every message between me and her from beginning to end for the past few weeks that we were talking. That never happened. Never. I don't know who brought that up, but whoever did, they're lying. Okay? That never fucking happened. And I seen the little stream that freaking happened. Hold on.
Yo, what's the tea? What's going on? What's going on, fam?
Not much. I got blown up with a stream that was apparently playing earlier, and it was apparently the Rican J guy did a stream with a person named Crystal who I used to date, friends with, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they also want to respond to like the stream I apparently did yesterday and things like that, which it makes. I invited the dude to come on yesterday to have a one-on-one talk with him, but he didn't want to do it.
Well, of course, you know, there's going to be some people that likes to talk shit and likes to hear themselves, and there's some people who likes to be forward and confront the person. I'm all about that confronting life. If you can't confront the person, then you just want to talk shit. I mean, plain and simple.
It didn't happen, but a lot of people didn't seem surprised because, you know, Rick and Jay and others have had a history of not wanting to do a one-on-one thing. It's more of a responding or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, talking shit. You know, people like to talk shit. Let's just be clear. There's a lot of people here that just love to talk shit. And when people talk shit, that's all they want to do. But when it comes to the walking, they can't walk the walk. They can talk the talk, but when it comes to walking, they're not about that life. I'm about that life. So, you know, some people, they like to talk shit about me. I'm about the person. If you want to talk shit, come say it to me. Period. That's all I am saying. Honestly, Chase, if they don't want to confront you, that's just how they think, you know. And if they're the kind of people that just want to talk shit, that's how their mindset is, to talk shit and to gain an attention or audience from talking shit. That's just how they think. That's just how their mind works at the moment.
It's pretty obvious, and you see, like I said, this was a part 1 apparently. Apparently, there's going to be a part 2 or whatever. So I have no idea.
Damn,
so
series.
I'm not doing this. It's going to be, I wanted tonight to be the last, so I got to get everything out. I want to get everything out, and I don't want to speak of it no more. I really don't want to speak of these people no more. I got to get that out, get the REM shit out, the crystal shit. I got to get all that out. I want to get
Why
all
are they
out.
bringing up old shit? Like, that shit already happened. Like, why are they bringing it up again? Like, well, you know, I don't understand.
I mean, they could have talked to me, but they make that weird excuse claiming that they're blocked. I mean, Tariq and Jay, did I block them on Facebook? Yeah, I
But
did.
why are they? But even if you're blocked, like, why bring it up in the first place? Why bring up old shit? Why bring up old clout? It wasn't recent clout. This is some back in the day kind of clout. Like, why bring that shit up again, knowing that it already happened like months or years ago? You know what I mean?
It all started from the beginning, like at the beginning of the year, mainly from a certain black spotted motherfucker who uploaded old clips between like me and Crystal and shit. And I told her about, like, you know, look what Dark Horse is doing. And that's when the whole thing started again this year. And
yeah,
like
it just sounds like they just want to talk shit and try to gain clout from it. I mean, that's pretty much what they're doing.
It didn't make sense because, like, it's weird because, like, he pretty much uploaded old videos right after I told Dark Horse, I don't want to be your friend anymore. I want nothing to do with you. I'm done. I'm not giving you another chance. Like, you need fucking help, dude, because you're so fucked in the head. So
I said the same shit. I said the same shit, but apparently ZTB is the white man devil. So, not even the black devil. I'm the white devil.
So it's like, yeah,
Carlos, what's going on, dude?
Apparently, you sound too much like a white person. So apparently,
that means
I don't fucking get that shit.
I'm totally educated because we all know Negroes are not supposed to sound educated according to the people in the South. Apparently.
I gotta start with I'll start with Rick and Jay first. So Rick and Jay, like I said, he bitched about him being blocked. He was only blocked on Facebook. He wasn't blocked on YouTube because if he was, I wouldn't be able to see his comments. I have Twitch. I have Instagram. You can message me on those if you really want to talk to me. That's one thing. The same thing with Remington. I did block Remington on Facebook, but he can comment and stuff. If he was blocked on YouTube, I will say this. The thing was, when being blocked on YouTube, hold on, let me respond to a message real quick. Yeah. If he was blocked on YouTube, I wouldn't have seen what he posted in the chat yesterday on my stream before I went on air. And I took a screenshot of that so he could say he didn't, but he did. He could have messaged me and talked to him, but I don't want to talk to him now. I've already said how I felt and the shit that he did. After, like I said, whether I hate Remington or not, I just choose not to fuck with him. Admitting what he did was disrespectful to me. Yes, it was. Absolutely. 100%. And if he apologized or whatever, that's fine. But other than that, I just choose not to fuck with him.
Yeah, I mean, if he apologizes, then, you know, it's up to you whether or not to say you accept it, you know, even if he comes out clean. But it's up to you, you know. You shouldn't be pressured to accept an apology if they decide to suddenly be cordial. It's up to your, you know, it's your choice.
And that's why I chose to speak of Remington, because he made that comment. And he's like, you know, talking shit. I'm like, what? Matter of fact, I can actually. Let's see if I can read it. All right, check the screenshot. Give me a second. I don't know if it showed like when I went live. He commented. He did it on like hours before I went live. Let's see what it say. Going up. He put, "You can lie all you want, dude, and get your fucking."
Oh, Rick and Jay is here, guys. He says, "Why are you talking about my homeboy Rem?"
Wants come on.
Hey, what's going on, man? Why you talking about Rem?
Oh, get the fuck out of here, dude.
Oh my god. it even says right here, it says Eric Battle.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
Insane Gaming says, ZTB, I'm calling you out. Well, I think after this stream, they probably are going to call me out. Oh, the whole thing we have cheating on your panel.
It's like, man, who gives a fuck anymore? But like he was saying, like, you know, he's saying, get the fuck over me and Crystal, stop twisting stories around to make it look like the victim. I'm not playing as the victim, dude. I'm speaking of like why I don't fuck with Remington anymore. Like what he did was just like fucked up to me. And it was something that didn't happen once. It happened more than once. If it happened once, I would understand. But just like, you know, more than once, like what the fuck?
Yeah. If it happened once, shame on you. If it happens twice, shame on me. So it's more so of a learning lesson. It's up to you to like decide. That's why I said in the live chat, if you want to forgive or forget, it's up to you. It's up to your heart and what you want to do, you know. I don't think anyone else should tell you. I think it's up to your own intuition of what you truly want to do for your friendship or lack of friendship. And if you feel like this is the right decision, then, more power to you.
I will say. But other than that, I mean, with Rem, I never really had a problem with this shit. I mean, I put up with a lot of things that he would do or say, or whether it be even like with fake accounts or whatever, still wanting to troll whoever. I didn't care about that. Like, he can do whatever he wants when it comes to that shit. But like the shit he did outside of YouTube with someone that I used to be with, and it just, you got to understand, like, you doing that shit, and you got to understand that woman, like, she knows my family. Like, she doesn't live far from them. I've let her around my family and shit. I don't want them or other people like thinking that I was like doing the same thing. I was the same way as either Rem or these other motherfuckers that were with her, that just wanted to use her for whatever the fuck. I'm not saying Rem is using her or that shit, but there's a lot of guys that really, treated her like shit or treated her second. Like, she's even told me that herself.
Like a sex object?
That too, yes. And even her and even her own kids have told me herself that the people that she's been with, they never wanted to even spend time with the kids. Not once. It makes sense
like a sex object. Yeah, that's. I mean, come on. I'm speaking from experience. Yeah, it's like a sex object. Yeah.
And the guy she was with before me, I mean, he didn't really do shit. So it wasn't really much of a working relationship.
Says, ask them if they like dragons, because I'm gonna be dragging these nuts over. Oh my god. Hey, wrestling, what's going on?
Damn right. Let me go to the voting poll. It got 26 votes, and hold on, what's the voting poll on this thing? Hold on, I gotta open my YouTube. Damn, everybody says no. 86% says no. 14% says
I didn't
yes.
vote because I feel like it wasn't my place to vote. I feel like that's just not. Vote
after. I know, like, they were talking about saying being obsessed with the past. I gotta bring this up. I have brought up like people like Crystal from time to time, or I would answer a question. There's certain things that from her that I never said on here that bother me to this day, that have affected me, like getting into another relationship wise, and I'll explain it tonight, whether she likes it or not. Like with that woman, I'll be honest, I've admitted to my wrongdoings. Like I wasn't fully open with her at the beginning. And I'll be honest, like I was caught up in the whole YouTube thing when YouTube was good, you know what I mean? When there was more like opportunity and shit. But like you have to change your life.
When people care like less about drama and more about entertainment, like entertaining people.
Also like, make your life a little bit more than what it is.
Yeah, I think what happened is like when COVID came, people hatched their personal problems to YouTube more.
Oh, this was before COVID. This was before COVID.
Oh, before COVID. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
This is back like, like the 2013, 14, 15 and all that when YouTube was good.
Oh, yeah. That's the good old days before Susan Wojcicki took over. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like back then, like you pretty much had to play a character or overdo your, you over-exaggerate your life, or people do crazy shit. They would rent out a house and, hire like a chick with big boobs to pretend they're a woman or whatever the fuck. So, because that drug in the views, whatever it may be. And when I got with her, it was hard to really be fully open with her because people have warned me about her and things like that. It just, you got to understand, like this woman, like the woman has 4 kids with 3 different fathers, like 2 or 3 divorces.
Maury.
And it was just so many things. Like, now I understand. Like, I overlooked a lot of this. Like, I didn't give judgment on this woman or anything to this woman. I overlooked a lot of shit, things that she would either say or do. Like, she even like was like sticking up for a guy that she knew was lying and doing some really wrong shit. Like this whole thing started with the whole Sean shit when he was profiting off Cody Brainerd's death. And it made no sense at all because there was so many times Sean lied, but she never, like, she would be standing next to him, but she wouldn't even say, like, why are you saying that, Sean? That's a lie. That's a goddamn lie. And a lot of us believe that's probably like from abuse because Sean would always threaten to call CPS or whatever, and all that shit and whatever he has on her. But God, like so much to say, goddamn. But I know one thing is like, to be fully open with her, I wanted to make sure that she wasn't like him. because there's a lot of women that would not associate with someone like Sean if you know who he is, because the guy's like a complete lying, manipulative scumbag. So, I mean, she even lied to me at that time and things like that. Like, she made a GoFundMe for a new car because she wrecked hers, and it was me and a few others. Well, what happened to ZTV? I don't know. I think it was an internet thing. But, yeah, I mean, she made a GoFundMe for a new car showing that it was wrecked and things like that.
Sorry, my internet cut off for a second.
No, you're good. No, I'm saying. But, like, with her, I was really, like, it was hard to trust her because, like I said, I had to keep my guard up because I wasn't sure if she was, like, the same as him or whatnot, because she did lie to me about the wrecked car thing. Myself and other YouTubers donated and promoted that her GoFundMe at the time. And with the whole, like, Sean thing, I mean, like I said, the guy said he was going to donate to Cody Brainerd's death memorial, but he never did. He made so many fucking excuses claiming that the link didn't work or he couldn't do it. He didn't have a credit card, which, of course, he did have a credit card, obviously. I mean,
now, Crystal Lee show up here. She says, "Stop talking about me like I'm some bad." Oh, I think that's the person you're referring to.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say this. I'm just speaking about the stuff that's happened. So you talk about me. I'm gonna talk about you. I'm speaking the truth. So, like I said, but with the whole Sean thing, it was obvious he was never gonna donate. And the streams he would come on with her standing next to him, and he would say, people would ask Sean like, if he has a credit card. He would lie and say he didn't. I mean, he has a card. Like, what was that card he was using to buy beer every 3 or 4 days? I mean, things like that. And Sean claimed he's going to send a check through the mail. I'm wondering, did he ever get that check? I don't know. I mean, come on. StreamYard link is only for Crystal. Did you mute yourself? I think it'd also be a good spot to like just tell her straight up. I mean, we could have talked in private and things like that. I told her to call me anytime she wanted. She wanted to talk to me. It's already getting hot over here in the state. Jeez. Well,
Nick asks, "Is that really Crystal?"
If it's not, then if it's Eric again, another impersonator, then yeah.
She says, "Let me in." She says, "Let me in." Yeah.
StreamYard link's in the chat. I mean, it's right there. But like I said, there's a lot of things I gotta put out. I mean, she talked about me. I gotta explain to her about the shit and what affects me still to this day. I think that's the main thing to get out is like what stuff still bothers me to this day that still affects me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, I think this would be, yeah, that's her, yeah.
Hopefully it's not Eric again, pretending to be somebody else.
If he were to get that pick, that would be kind of creepy.
Is this the real Crystal?
Yeah, can you hear me?
No, then certainly not Eric. Yes, it is.
Unless Eric is able to do a very different voice.
Again, that would be creepy.
I mean, if somebody can imitate me, that's pretty cool. I'd like to hear it.
It would be cool if the person in question was actually cool, but Eric is. It would be creepy for Eric.
So let me get this whole Sean thing under wraps. Yeah, I didn't say things I probably should have said. Oh yeah, let me defend Sean. Me and Sean have been friends since my kids were in diapers, so I know how he is, and I've seen him lie and lie again, and that's just his freaking personality. And if I defended every lie that Sean has ever said, I'd be defending him for the rest of his life. That's just how he is. That's his personality. And I'm so used to it because I've known him for so long. Him and his ex, Lynn, were like family to me. I was like an aunt to their daughter. And then when they split, Lynn went her own way, and me and Sean continued to be friends and stuff. And if he wants to lie all the time, that's him. That's not me. I let him lie if he wants. I'm not his mother. I'm not gonna be like, let me.
But you're gonna let him lie even though you're standing next to him, even serious stuff that goes on?
I'm not his mom.
But why don't you have the power to confront him, say like, Sean, why are you lying? That's
because
not true.
I'm not his girlfriend. I'm not his mom, and I don't care.
But you're his friend. You should be,
Exactly. I'm his friend, and I'm not gonna sit here and just play back and forth drama. If he wants to lie and make that his persona and his personality, he wants people to know him as a liar, that's him.
But you just standing up for him knowing he's lying, that doesn't make you look good.
Okay, yeah, maybe it doesn't make me look good, but even his own family called him Sean a liar. It was a nickname. It was a
I know, yeah, I know. His mom is already...
It's a running joke in his family. So I'm like, if this is who you want to do...
But still, it's like when it came with the whole Cody Brainerd thing, I mean, that was serious.
I know that was serious, but again, that wasn't on me. He said he was going to donate. He didn't donate. That was on him. That wasn't on me. That shouldn't fall back on me. Well, Crystal, you should...
Well, when it comes to that part, I mean, he lied about saying that he didn't have a credit card and he couldn't donate because of this and that. I mean, you know he has a credit card, and he did back then. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to buy beer every 3 or 4 days.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, any normal person that had a job at some point or has money has a debit card or a credit card and can make a donation. But he chose not to do it. That's on him. Again,
that's pretty much like, proves the point that yes, and Sean is a scumbag.
I mean, is that gonna make me stop being his friend? I mean,
it has nothing to do with that. But still, it's like if you're going to defend him, you want the truth. I mean, at least make sure he tells the truth, especially when you're standing right next to him.
I've always said to everybody, Sean's always going to be my friend no matter how many dipshit things he does because I've known him for so long. Like, there could be times where I don't talk to him for 6-7 months. Or maybe
I'm talking about the truth, not friendships.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, like, I'm not going to get involved in every one of Sean's lies. That's on him. I'm not going to sit here and defend him every time because I'd be defending him forever. It's like he's always going to lie.
Well, you were defending him, and I remember when Dallas did that stream, he wanted to do a stream with you, and you asked me to come on and, defend you or be there for you. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
For the first 2.5 hours. Now, it's really weird because the stuff I've asked you, like I've asked you the same things that Dallas has asked you. The difference is when I asked you on Facebook about stuff, you would admit it no problem. But for you, when you were on Dallas's thing, for 2.5 hours, you wouldn't admit that the stuff that Sean did was wrong. You kept saying this, and that.
Okay, let's cut this. Let's cut this right here because we're talking about stuff that happened like over 2 years ago with drama with Sean and everything.
Okay, well, let's lay out the Sean thing because at the end of the day, I don't like Sean. He's trash to me. Everybody else doesn't like him because points proven.
All right, okay? Let's lay down the fact. Let's go. Okay, I don't talk to Sean. I talked to Sean a couple weeks ago.
Well, it doesn't matter. If you want to talk to him, that's fine. I don't care.
Well, I'm saying that I'm going to end that whole whoever.
I even told you, I don't care what's going on with Sean. I can care less.
Okay, well, that's what I'm saying is, no matter what, in the back of my head, I'm always going to be friends with him, whether he lies or he doesn't lie. That's just his personality. So people can wonder what they want to wonder about that. But like I said, there's times.
Well, we already know.
There's times I go months without talking to him. There's times we talk every day for a couple weeks and then we stop talking. He's got his own life. I got my own life, but we're always going to be friends because we have history. We've known each other forever. That's just what it is.
Okay. Okay. Now what else was I going to say? You want to bring up a topic? Go ahead. You want to bring something up? Go ahead.
I don't really have any topics, honestly. I got to work at 8 a.m. in the morning. I'm just saying,
I got to wake up.
I feel you. Same here.
I got to wake up at 5. Shit.
I work.
But no, I obviously can't sleep because of this. Damn.
It's just I'm just why?
No, but also, did you ask about the whole explicit picture thing? Because I like to know when apparently I sent it. TTB, who told you, or somebody said apparently I sent explicit pictures
I don't know.
to Daniela? Somebody said apparently either you or Christian said apparently I did that.
Yeah, well, I reiterated what I think Dark Horse mentioned before.
So it was Dark Horse.
About the explicit pictures to Daniela.
I never sent anything. She never sent me anything, and I never asked.
And like I said,
never.
Like I said in the response video that I was in with Jay, that I don't know any details of what you did with her, what she did with you, or what happened.
I did a stream showing every text message between me and her. At the beginning, we were just talking as friends. But then she started texting me more like good morning to me every morning and then asking me if I had feelings for her. She asked me that out of nowhere.
Chase, you don't have to explain yourself to me because I don't care about that.
Well, good, but I think the point's already been proven that I wasn't trying to hit her up or hit on her first. She was asking me all this stuff, telling me about her personal shit, blah blah blah. And at that time, I was going through some personal
Honestly, I'm just done with this saga about Daniela and Chayton. It's just because I know they're gonna wring the rag. They're gonna
do all that shit
for the entire year. It's been like this for 2 years.
I was going through some shit mentally at that time. I'm not into her, and I never will be.
All right,
not my type.
Can I mention? I'll mention one topic before this because it's really getting me pissed off. Is people calling me like a whole beast and all shit in the chat. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, let me tell you something. people are allowed to date. This is the fucking new age. People are allowed to date. It's not like the old school where you date one person, you were in high school and you marry them and that's a happy life. It's dating. Now you date. This is what you do. I have friends that have dated multiple guys in the matter of a month. Not saying they're sleeping with every single one of them, but they date because in the end, you're trying to find somebody who you're compatible with and who you want to spend your life with. If it takes people multiple times to find that, then that's what it takes. Now, me and Sean have been friends. We've never been boyfriend, girlfriend. I dated you, Chase, for a short period of time. Things didn't work out. We wanted to talk again. Things still didn't work out. And then bit later, I went to go see Remington and me and him had a blast together. But why is that anybody's business but mine? Like, I'm allowed to date. I'm a grown woman.
You can date whoever you want. I only talk about my issue, the shit that Remington did to you that you showed me.
What I'm saying, Chase, is here it is. A couple weeks ago, we decided, okay, we're going to be friends. We're going to talk privately, but you're still allowing people in your chats to call me a hobeist and say things about me that's not true. You need to say, okay, to these people, hey, listen, me and Crystal have decided to talk as friends privately. Like even in Jay's chat, I said, I'm not going to disclose what me and Chase talk about privately, but here it is.
Well, that's the thing I will get into. I mean, you say that, but in your past, you have leaked out even personal stuff about me that was never supposed to be public.
Okay, but we're talking about past, not present. In that chat with Jay, I didn't say anything about, oh, this past. What I was saying is things need to be let go. And things in the past, from the time we agreed to be friends again.
But I think the best thing to do is also clarify certain things that came from your mouth.
The thing is about clarifying is that I don't owe anybody an explanation. You don't owe anybody.
But you owe me an explanation.
Okay, but that needs to be done privately. That my life and your
life.
Well,
I mean, why not do it publicly?
No, because you say, oh, we owe the people. No, I don't owe anybody anything. Is anybody paying my bills on the stream? Is anybody paying your bills? No. Have you bet? All right, besides me, answer me this, Chase. Besides me, have you ever met any of these people in this chat right now in person?
Yeah.
Who?
People like Lennon. You got to understand, it's not just these people that watch my stuff.
Have you met people in person, spent time with them, like legit time with them?
Well, they're not in the chat right now, but there are others.
Okay, but what I'm saying is these people, you can't like listen to everybody's opinion that people coming from random places all over the internet. Oh, this person's this.
But once again, for the past 2-3 years or whatever, I've had to defend myself, do it all by myself. You were not around.
Okay,
you didn't say shit.
That's the thing is you think you have.
You just came on streams. You said stuff about me. You even leaked out personal stuff that was very personal to me. And I would try to tell you, but you didn't give a shit. And you would tell it and try to twist it. And I don't like that.
Okay, that's your
Should I get into that?
No, that's your feelings is what I'm saying is you feel like you need to explain yourself to everybody.
I have to clarify things. And like I said.
Okay, but who are you clarifying to? Like, who are you clarifying to? Casper? Like, nobody cares.
You got to understand, Crystal. There's not just them that watches my stuff. I got close friends, family. Okay. One of my closest friends I've known for years, someone that you trashed and went all hardcore racist on.
Oh.
Okay, so and I still have your aunt as my Facebook friend. And
I know, and people like her.
I've never heard one negative thing from her. Matter of fact,
I haven't told her. Like I'm really hope to God like she doesn't think like I'm like all these other men you did that treated you second or your kids like nothing.
Matter of fact, last year before the whole COVID thing started, she ordered stuff from me on my business because I make all those goodies to.
Well, that's good. That's good. She already told me about your little chocolate ball business, whatever the fuck. I already know about that.
What I'm saying is, if your aunt had something against me, or she was worried about something that
happened, I'm not saying my aunt has anything against you, but I'm saying like family and stuff that watches my stuff, and like I didn't tell them all this, like the whole details about why you and I split. I didn't want to. I didn't even tell them about the shit that you said about my own mother.
But that's what I'm saying is it's nobody's business but mine and yours as to why we're not together. Why is it anybody's business?
It could have been. Hey, here's the thing. When you and I had problems, I was happy to sit down with you and talk about it. But what happened? You didn't want to do it. You decided, you tell the shit to Sean. He's to twist the shit.
Well, in saying we actually seen receipts of that, so it's pretty apparent.
Okay, sorry. So Sean was around.
And the thing was, you and I could have settled it in private. We were living together. We could have sat down and talked, but you did not want to do it once. I still have a recording. We're right before Christmas. Like, I was working. I was giving you money every week to help you with bills and shit. I was paying you more than what your damn rent costed. All I wanted from you before Christmas was for us to settle down, to sit down and talk and fix things for you, me, the kids, my family, your family. But what did you do? You said you didn't want to do it. You kept yelling at me. You told me to fucking die.
Listen, the thing was,
you said I did not deserve a second chance. You said I deserved to die and before Christmas.
Can you listen to me for a second? You came and lived in my house. I was put under pressure. You lied to me about who you were and what you did because you were trying to test me. So the beginning of the relationship was fucked as it was. And I'm going to go back and
Crystal, look at yourself, for God's sakes. You have like 4 kids from 3 different people. You've been divorced like 2 or 3 damn times. You weren't even 40 yet.
Okay, but
you were doing all this shit. You were associating with a scumbag like Sean. Okay, and how do I know you're not the same as him? It was very difficult to trust you. It was hard. But I still took the risk anyway. Even after all the shit, people attacking you for making that fake fucking GoFundMe.
Hey, Chase, you're getting loud and you're getting obnoxious.
I kind of have to explain.
No, stop. Listen, just chill. You're an adult. Chill out. You sound like a freaking high school kid right now. Stop.
I usually don't raise my voice, but I kind of have to.
Yeah, chill out.
Shit.
Stupid. Listen, you came into my house. You wanted to give it a chance. You should have started off right. It doesn't matter what you think you had to test, but you testing it is what fucked it up. That's what
I kind of had to.
Okay, well then you fucked it up by testing it because you lied to me. You fucked it up. Blame yourself for that.
Even if I was, let's say if I was all this that I told you I was, whatever. I feel
it wouldn't have mattered.
If you really cared about me, you would have at least sit down and talked to me like a human being.
And I wasn't.
You wouldn't have done the shit that you did or said the stuff that you said.
You moved into my home that I pay for with my kids, and you were under my roof, and you were pressuring me. Oh, talk to me. I wasn't ready.
What?
I just wanted.
I'm just observing and saying.
Crystal, I gave you 2 months.
I wasn't ready, Chase.
How long did you want me to give you at the same time? Well, for 2 whole months, I'm paying you money every week. I'm working. I'm spending time with your kids and shit.
Listen, you told me.
Are you saying with all the shit I was doing, I didn't deserve a second chance to be able to talk to you?
Chase, I wanted you to move out so I could have time to be by myself and think about what I wanted because you lied to me. You wouldn't leave. You kept saying, I'm going to stay and I want to work this out. I'm like,
That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
You even put up an ad to get an apartment and you would not leave. You were like in my house and you wouldn't leave. And I'm like, oh my God.
I put an ad for an apartment?
Yeah, you put up an ad on Craigslist. You even showed it to me. You said, I'm trying to find a place.
I think I did do something like that. Yes.
I wanted you to leave so I could have time to think, but you kept pressuring me. I want to talk. And I'm like, you lied to me. I'm not ready to talk. Just because you were ready doesn't mean I was ready. You need to give people the time they need to process what happened. And maybe had you left and give me time to think about it, things would have been different. But you under my roof, when I felt like I couldn't even think because, okay, I have my ex-boyfriend or whatever living downstairs in my basement because he won't leave and he's pressuring me to talk.
Hey, well, I left now.
Oh, good. They're good. But this is 2 years ago. What I'm saying is, like, why are we rehashing all this? I've had another relationship since you, and it's been years. Like, I don't understand what this is still even being brought up. Like, I'm beside myself.
I'm seeing a glimpse of it.
Well, I'll tell you what, how about I get it all out tonight, and then we can move forward.
Let's talk about how we agreed to be friends. And like, I'm talking to you the day my dad passed away, March 26th. I'll never forget.
I'm glad you brought that up, actually.
All right, let me finish talking because this is serious. The day my dad passed away, I sat in the hospital for weeks watching my dad wither away in front of me. Literally died in front of me, took his last breath right in front of me, looked at me, turned his head, took his last breath. And I lost my father that day. I lost part of my heart. And that day, I get a message from Remington saying, Crystal, they're on a live stream mentioning you, talking bad about you in this.
Of course it was Remington. He trolls everything.
Okay, but doesn't matter. He's my friend. He told me what was happening. So I politely went to you privately. I went in the chat first. I said, can you please stop? My dad died, blah, blah, blah. And you turn around and say,
here's a question. Did I know anything about that before I did that stream?
No,
What were we talking?
Right, can I finish?
I just want to know. Just clarify that, please.
No, you didn't know anything about it before.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, but now listen. Here's where you went wrong. I went in the stream and I said to you politely, hey, my dad died. My dad just died a few hours ago. This was going on like a couple hours, and I said, okay, this will happen. And then you turn around instead of saying, oh my God, like, let me message you privately and see what's happening. Because supposedly you really cared about me. And if you really cared about me like you did, even if it wasn't at that moment, at one point.
I did, but you obviously proved you didn't give a shit about me.
Okay, but listen, the point is, if your mother died or somebody in your family died, and that was something I said to you, you said to me privately, and I was doing a stream on you. I don't care if you were my worst enemy. I would have stopped it right there. You were the first thing you said when I said my dad died was, yeah, right. She's probably lying about it. Like,
I said that?
You said, oh, I don't know if I should believe her because she could be lying.
But did I say you were lying?
You
I got the stream. I can go back and rewatch it because I know I didn't call you a liar for that. I know I certainly did not say that.
Yeah, you certainly said, I don't even know if that's true. Like
But did I call you a liar? That's the question.
I don't know, but you said it's probably, you don't know if it's true. So
it's just kind of weird. And I mean, for God's sakes, it's not every day like a family member. Like, I haven't even made streams on you in a while.
Why would I come on a stream randomly and say, oh, yeah, my dad died? And then just
like I said, at that time, I wasn't sure. I knew nothing about it. We weren't talking.
So then, Chase, let me finish my conversation.
You talked to me before. So
yeah. So I went on your inbox after you said you weren't sure if I was making up or whatever I was doing. Then I went in your inbox privately and sent you pictures and said, listen, this is real. This is not a joke. And you still kept the chat going. You still kept the stream going. Even after I tried to plead to you privately, sending you pictures of my dad in his deathbed, you still kept the stream going. Like, I'm just like beside myself because I would never do that. Even if I hated you and your mom died and you said, please stop, I would have stopped. Like, what kind of person are you to let a stream go on when my...
Here's the thing. I privated the stream after it was done.
Yeah,
and I didn't mention about it afterwards.
Yes, I know, but that was after the fact. I pleaded with you to stop at that time, and you did.
I wasn't sure.
You were sure. I sent you pictures of my dad dead. How are you not sure, Chase? You were sure, and you said you let it keep going. So for you to tell people that you cared about
Sausage Kane, what's going on?
I have cared about you. If I didn't give a shit about you, I wouldn't have gotten like pissed off. Like if the shit that Ren did to you, if he did to someone else, I wouldn't have given a fuck.
Okay, but I don't care about all that. What I'm talking about is my dad passed away.
I told you I was sorry. I knew nothing about it. We weren't talking before that happened.
But when I told you about it and you knew for a fact it was true and you seen pictures of my dad in his deathbed, you still let that chat keep going and you still let people talk shit about me, even though I was in a sensitive...
I will take responsibility for it, yes. I will take responsibility for it.
At that time, you should have said, listen, I'm going to end the stream. You know, Crystal's going through some shit. This is some real shit. Let me end this and we'll talk about whatever we got to talk about later. Now is not the time. Now is not the place. That's what should have happened. Because I know maybe...
That part's on me. That part's on me.
Maybe we have beef from the past and you're mad I didn't defend you when I should have. And I'm mad at you lying to me.
Well, you didn't defend me. You're freaking like, you know... Talked about personal stuff that was private about me.
Okay, yeah, and personal
you're telling people apparently my mother abandoned me. When did my mother abandon me again?
You said stuff about your own mother.
What did I say about my mother? Just remind me, so I can remember.
Can I interject? I have no bearing to this, but I just want to ask a question. Crystal, what do you want out of Chase in order to leave the situation? Because I think you probably want something out of him that you want him to do for you. As of now,
honestly, I don't want him to do anything for me. I just want him to stop. When people say something about me in the chat, I would just like him to say, "Hey, me and him have agreed to be friends. We want to let bygones past be past, and not talk about each other. I will not talk about him. He will not talk about me. And if somebody says something bad about him, and they ask me my opinion, I'm gonna say, listen, me and him have agreed to be friends. Whatever happened in the past between me and him, that's gone. That's done. That's squashed.
There's certain things that people ask. I think I've already clarified it myself, but I think it'd be best if you clarified it while you're here.
At the same time, I mean, is it safe to say that like the people that are agitating this whole scenario between you and Chase, like you're basically going to be like, hey, just shut the hell up. But you don't even have to literally say it in videos. You could just subconsciously in some way be like, hey, just shut the hell up.
What should I say? Sometimes
I've offered Crystal to talk to me whenever she wanted to call me and talk to me, but she never did that. Instead, she went on Rick and Jay and did that fucking stream.
Yeah, and just so you're aware that like I have no dog in this fight, like as far as this relationship between you and Chase goes. But like at the same time, my only stake is that like I don't want another Jake and Daniela situation to transpire.
Same.
I want to clarify. I just want to clarify real quick that I am nothing like Jake. I never put my hands on Crystal or any woman I've ever been with or any of that shit.
Chase, just calm down. Just calm down. I'll get it. But my whole point I'm trying to say is like with Crystal is like the people that are agitating this as far as claiming to be on your side in this, which ultimately they don't give a fuck about you, and they for damn sure don't give a fuck about Chase. Like don't advocate for their side. Don't advocate.
That's pretty much. Yeah, I've seen that shit. You got people like Hero and all these other
it's just gaslighting. People gaslighting to fuel the fires.
So, Crystal, you associating with people like Dark Horse makes it a lot worse.
Let me tell you this. Yeah. I agree with people gaslighting situations because a lot of people, and excuse me if I sound like I have a lisp, I'm wearing aligners right now, but anyways.
No, it's all right.
I have people sometimes feed into drama. So there's going to be certain people that will come in and just say random stuff to trigger people, to get people to make more streams because they love the drama. And
Yeah, gaslighters. Yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
So that's what's going to happen. And sometimes you have to be the bigger person and say, okay, I know what you're trying to do here. I know you're trying to gaslight. I know you're trying to trigger me, and I know you're bringing up the
But
past.
let me ask you this though, Crystal. Like, I haven't talked about it in quite a while, but what started the whole thing that happened between me and you this year? What started it?
Apparently, Dark Horse shared some old streams.
Yeah.
But again, when I didn't.
What was his purpose in uploading that shit?
I don't
And
know.
trying to bring up old shit all over again,
but
and where
see,
people are harassing me about it.
Yeah, I can tell you straight up, he did it to me too. It's just to try to gain some clout and notoriety to promote a narrative.
You associate with someone like him, it doesn't make you look
But
good, and it's hard for me to trust you.
But I'm not going to judge you for associating with Dark Horse, but I'm just telling you that's just the kind of person he is. Say,
Crystal, Dark Horse was harassing you back years ago. Why was he wanting pictures of my family? Why did you give him those pictures, or why was he wanting them?
I don't know. This was all years ago. Like, I don't remember way back then.
Well, you showed me the screenshots where he was harassing you, asking for pictures, apparently for proof that I had family up there. I don't know about you, but when you shared that shit, he fucking made a video showing it. People like Sam the Genesis took those pictures and made explicit photos, like photoshopping.
Did you report him for that? Because that's illegal.
I haven't, but I still got the stuff. I know Sam lives in a different country, and I don't know how the whole thing works.
But hey, here's the thing: is what I was gonna say is everybody started talking, so I didn't get to say my piece about that. Is when Dark Horse shared that stuff, I had really no clue what was happening.
The shit between me and you had nothing to do with that motherfucker.
Okay, but what I'm saying is I didn't say, oh yeah, go ahead and re-upload clips and stuff like that. Like that, I had no idea any of this was going on.
Well, you claimed that you were friends with him or some shit. Like, what the fuck?
Well, I'm friends.
But this is Dark Horse talking. This isn't her talking. That's what she's saying, though.
This is Dark Horse. I didn't say, oh yeah, let's go ahead and set off Chase and let's go ahead and re-upload old clips so we can have drama.
That's the thing, though. I when I saw the video, I messaged.
I think she probably didn't know Dark Horse was going to do what he's going to do.
Let me add this to it. What the hell Dark Horse is doing shit, and Dark Horse is just bullshitting when he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm in close contact with Crystal."
Let me add this though. Look, I gotta add this though. But shit. Give me a minute. Crazy goddamn headache.
Take a drink.
And as far as Dark Horse is concerned,
that's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say.
Can I finish? He's done some messed up shit to me in the past, and he knows. And because he didn't know who I was as a person, he was again like everybody else does on YouTube that doesn't know people personally in real life. They listen to what other people say and they base things.
Well, he just wanted to get himself involved in shit. It had nothing to do with him. He wasn't part of any of this shit.
But what I'm saying is, he's come to me personally and said, "Hey, Crystal, I fucked up saying bad shit about you. I didn't know who you were as a person."
I think he only did that after me and him got into a feud. So.
But he's apologized to me since then, and he said, "Listen, I know you're a good person. I've talked to you personally now. I've talked to you, and I understand where you're."
Oh, let me give that to you.
So it's he's apologized to me, and since then I've had no problem with him. Since he's not talked about me or caused any drama.
But he has made up some shit because when he made the first video, I told you about it. Like, what the fuck is this about? Because I knew you were joining his friend, you were in his friend's chats or whatever the fuck. Or you were talking to him. My thing was,
he'll be nice to you. And I'm speaking from experience. Yeah. He'll be nice to you if you don't mess with his whole agenda, or you be friends with people he don't like.
Or if you start agree with his stuff.
But here's the thing.
I've known him for 10 years. I know how this guy operates. So
let me say something so everybody understands this. My life is so busy. Yeah, okay, let's go back on what Chase said. Let me finish out this conversation before anybody says anything. But Chase says, okay, yeah, I have different baby daddies, whatever. Yeah, I've been married and divorced twice. So what? I was young. I fell in love when I was 19 years old.
I understand. I overlooked a lot of shit.
Okay, but listen, no, Chase, it's not about. Listen, let me finish what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
I'm voicing my opinion here. Yes, I've made decisions. I was young when I first got married. My first two marriages were when I was under 22 years old, because I thought I wanted to have that fairy tale life where I get married and I'm with a guy and it's like Cinderella story, blah, blah, blah. It didn't happen that way. I got married young. I was stupid. I made bad choices. I have my kids. I take care of my kids. I don't regret anything because I don't regret my children. They're awesome. But what I'm saying is that's my life. And you came in knowing that I had 2 marriages, 2 divorces.
Exactly.
And let me finish. You came in knowing I had 4 kids and 3 baby daddies.
Yes.
You still chose to want to come in. If you had any doubt in your mind, or you didn't want to trust, or you had something in the back of your head saying, I don't want to be involved with this, then you should.
It's not about not want to be involved. I had to
But the
keep
thing
my
is,
guard up a
but
bit.
you knew I was a good person because me and you talked for a while before.
That's why I took the risk.
Okay, so why go back and say, well, on the chat, well, she had this and she had that, and like, why does that matter? Because
I'm explaining like why I wasn't fully open with you.
I've known people
who kept on warning me. People like Jerry and others were like telling me, like, be careful, man.
I've known people who have had 5 marriages and 5 divorces, and that's what it took.
Okay, but beside the point, even with all this shit, even with all your flaws and everything, I still accepted you for who you were.
Okay, but
and your kids.
I wouldn't even say those are flaws. I would say those are life experiences because not.
Well, even with the life experiences I've had, you would bring up all the time and try to put me down.
But the life experiences
all the time.
The life experiences you have weren't like the life experiences I have. I had marriages and divorces, falling in love, getting in divorce, having a child, and trying to stick out relationships where I was emotionally abused and things like that.
Hey, you know what kind of relationship I had before you. You know the woman I was with and how she was.
Okay, but you've never been deep in like I have or have children, so you wouldn't understand where I'm coming from when it comes to try to stay in a relationship because of having a child with that person. You don't understand that deep because you were never that deep with somebody. So you can't really comment on marriage and divorce because you've never had that. You don't know.
Okay, but either way, like I'm saying, like even if you were just some.
But what I'm saying is just because I had a difficult past didn't give you the right to come into a relationship based off of lies. You should have started fresh and said, okay, well, here's what it is. This is what I am. Now,
I probably should have, yeah.
Because
like I said.
Because listen, I don't know if you telling me you had money, you had a house and all that stuff is supposed to impress me. I dated the guy who was a manager at Burger King. I could care less if somebody has money. You want to know why? Because I started my life, I grew up poor. My mom was a single mom raising me. My dad left when I was young. He only regained a relationship with me after I got out of the military.
I've been poor too.
Listen.
I've been poor too. I know it's like to struggle. I know it's like to do things on your own with no assistance or nobody.
Okay, but listen, I joined the military at 17 so I could take care of myself and put myself through college. I've never been this bad person that people look at me as. Like I had kids. I went back to college. I got a degree. I got my. It's like. People are thinking, okay, she's this terrible person. She's whoring around with all these guys. No, I'm not. I'm taking care of my kids. I went to college. I did what I had to do. And now I'm working 2 jobs. I've always what I'm trying to say is, Chase, I didn't want to date you because you had all this stuff. We got along over the phone and stuff. I said, okay, well, I'll give this a try. But it wasn't because of what you had, because at that point, you moved in with me. I didn't move in with you. Let's get this clear. You came here.
Can I just answer Peter comment? I'm just so sorry. Listen, I don't think Dark Horse brainwashed them. I think he manipulated them and used their situations in order to further his goal.
I
think that's just what he did.
By cherry picking what they say and what they do, it did,
and then using it to further exactly.
Yeah, I have to add this though.
What it is like honestly, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I feel like there's two different conversations they need to have. Like one is the problem that should be addressed here publicly as far as like the backlash that Chase is receiving.
Oh, Dan XP is here.
Yeah. While you,
the last time it came in was a fake, and somebody made a fake account of his girlfriend yesterday. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, like I feel like one.
Yeah, it's me.
Okay.
What's up, Dan?
Hold on. I'm not explaining like a mother outside. Can y'all hear all that?
Yeah, I hear.
I hear you.
You're fine.
Okay, so like I'm not here to cause conflict. Chase, you and I were like acquaintances at that time, right? So I think I have a perspective that others don't. All right.
Insane.
So not to talk shit, and I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but I'm going to defend Crystal to some regard. Like you lied. You didn't just lie to her, bro. You lied to me. Like, and I'm not like I don't give a fuck. It's the past, whatever. But you said you told her all of this stuff because you didn't trust her. I had earned that trust, man. But you told me that you had a house, you had a gardener, you're remodeling, you're doing all this stuff, you're making buku money. And that's when our issue started. I could tell you right now, before you even moved down there, I asked you straight up, bro, I'm over here defending you at the time to other people who I was cool with because they were talking mad shit about how all of this was set up and you were digging Crystal. And all I ever asked you was, dude, just tell me the truth. If you dig her, cool, that's great, good for you. But tell me the truth so I don't look like a fucking idiot defending you to these people. And then 2 days later, you moved down there and y'all were a thing. So you can't get mad and say that, she did this and she did this because you did lie. And you didn't just lie to her. So when people got upset with you, it's because people actually were like, "Oh, what the fuck? We're defending you." And to her, you know, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but if you decided to date her, kids or no, relationships or no, you decide to date this woman. That's your choice. You don't deserve a medal because you're looking past her faults, which aren't faults. That's her life. She lived her life. She got divorced. Big fucking deal, man. That's her life. You choose to date somebody, you choose to be with somebody, faults and all. Like, anytime you enter a relationship, it's not about their past, it's about your future with this person. So and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like you have this attitude like, well, I looked past all of this and I deserve cookies and shit. And
No. That's not how it is.
okay, well then I need you to understand that's how it's coming off to others. Like, you look, you cared about this girl enough that you changed your whole life. You moved to another state. Granted, your family lived there, and like, you can't get mad at her because the beginning of your relationship started on falsehoods. You can't get upset. You can't get mad because she doesn't
not
want
what
to
I'm
talk
mad
to you.
about, Bo. That's not what I'm mad about, though. That's not the thing.
What?
But you got upset because she didn't want to talk to you. I was over here in the John listening. I'm sorry, but like you said, she wouldn't talk to you. Look, if I was in her position and I was dating somebody and she did what you did, just example, I wouldn't want her in my house either. I would not want her there. I wouldn't want to talk to her. In fact, I would feel like violated that I trusted you enough to give you all of this information, tell you about my life, whatever it may be, and then you betray me. I don't even know who you are. I don't want you. You are a stranger to me at that point, and that's the point I always reiterated to you before. I don't know you. That's why, like, whenever people said, "Well, y'all weren't," he said, "We all were friends." No, we weren't friends because, Chase, I didn't know who you were. You and me had this whole like cool thing going, but you lied about everything about who you were, so I didn't know who you are. That's why, like, and you think it's because something else. No, it's because you lied. I don't hate you. I just don't know you.
And can I
So I
interject
can
on
feel
that?
for her.
I agree with that's what
You don't know the whole thing, Dan. So either
Well,
way,
that's exactly what I was trying to say. Is like, at that time when you wanted me to talk to you, Chase, it's not that I wasn't going to eventually talk. It's just that you were in my house and I needed space and time to think about it, because right at that point when I found out about all the lies, you were a stranger to me. You weren't that person I talked to for that past year or whatever we were talking on the internet. You were a complete stranger living in my home with my kids under my roof. And I find out about all this stuff from a close friend of yours, and I'm just wondering, okay, if he really wanted to try out a relationship and be
do
serious.
you believe I'm a terrible person? How about that?
No, I don't believe you're a terrible person, but I believe you don't
But you
know
sure
how
try
to.
to portray me as that.
I don't believe that you approach situations as an adult. You want people to think you're different
Hold
than
on,
what you actually
Chase.
are.
You
We
and
all
okay,
got
Crystal,
freaking caught up when it comes to
Crystal.
In defense of this, like I said this before with the cheating thing, right? Like, any person that's gonna reflect and talk about their relationship, especially if it's a toxic relationship, like, each party is gonna paint themselves in a positive light than the opposition. Like, if you ask me about my toxic relationship, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna paint myself in like a positive light, as opposed to my opposition, which is my ex-wife.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah,
that's
especially when it comes to like any sort of us versus them or plaintiff versus defendant, it's going to be matter of perspective, and that's just what it is. And with this case,
Well, I want to just say this, like, Crystal, you and I aren't friends by any stretch of the imagination, right? We've had our issues before. Like, no beef now. I got to give a fuck. You live your life. You take care of your kids. Cool. No, but no one would consider you and I friends, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know you in person, so I can't really judge you or say who you are and what you are. I mean,
Fair.
yeah.
So and like I said, Chase, you and I've been in streams and we've been kosher. Like, there's never been an issue. Like, we've been adults, for lack of a better term. I'm telling you this not to defend Crystal, not to defend anybody, but just how you look. Like, even listening to this, and I've told you this before, like, you've admitted this. You have an anger issue, and you're quick to get defensive when you think people are jumping on you. But no,
I never had this anger issue before all the shit happened. I didn't have that.
But you also remember, like, when we were first, like, copacetic, right? We had our conversations. You were the mellowest cat in the room. You were chill, never, not an angry bone in your body. But you did lie about a lot. So when people got upset and you turned into what you've turned into now.
Back then, you know how YouTube was, how the things were back then.
Beyond that, as human beings, right? When people turned on you, can you admit that it was your fault that you lied to these people?
Yeah, I've already admitted to that.
But no, I've never heard you say that. I've heard you deflect.
I've done it multiple times, dude.
I mean, Dan,
When have
does it
you,
really?
when,
I mean, when it comes to
Jesus
lying about this,
Christ.
is it
when have
really
you and I ever
matter?
had this
Like,
conversation, Chase? Honestly,
I've
when have
offered to
you?
you many times.
No, no. You
We
got
have
pissed
been. We
off.
have.
We tried
I
to
saw
have a
on the stream
conversation.
it was you, me, and Jason, and even fucking NF Punk.
I'm
like,
not talking about that. I'm talking about, and I'm not talking about for broadcast to everybody. You tell everybody they should reach out to you from in the back and
I
talk
can
to you,
message
right?
you, but you got me blocked.
There's no point now. Too much time has passed. But what I'm telling you is, like, can
You
you
blocked me
understand?
immediately back then, and you even hit me up since.
No, because you had my phone number. You could have hit me up.
I don't have your phone number
I
anymore.
don't,
My
I
phone
don't,
was broken,
like
and
say
I
that
lost
again?
all my contacts.
the lies that
You
you
had
believe.
my number. Why didn't you reach out to me?
It wasn't, the
You've
burden
already
wasn't
you
on.
tried to threaten out
No,
to release my phone number because of trolls.
I've
But
never released your number. I have never
But
released,
you
if I
tried
didn't
to do
release,
it because you assumed these
no, I
trolls
didn't.
were
Who
me.
told you
Yes,
that?
you
Who
did,
told you that? Because I
motherfucker.
never
Yes, you
released your
did.
number.
Yes, you did.
I had never released your number. Who told
But
you
did
that
you
lie?
threaten to do that? Did you threaten
Who?
to do that?
Never.
Yeah,
You
but
bullshit.
I never. I would never. Look, if I didn't
You were
release,
assuming that trolls, all these trolls that were trolling you, you were
Well,
assuming
then,
them were
Peter,
me,
come with
and
the
then you were
holy water,
threatening
because
to
I think
release
we
my
need it
phone
at this
number.
point.
it's raining like a motherfucker. I'm sorry. I swear on Christ, I swear to God, I'm raining outside right now, so may God strike me with lightning right now. Y'all know I'm a holy rolling motherfucker. I never threatened, and I never gave your number out. No, just like I had Chayton's number all this time, never gave it out.
You did say that you were threatening to release my phone number, that you could do it.
No,
Because you were
but
assuming that trolls were me. Even Dallas admitted that you did say that.
I would
no,
look if you have it. If look, I don't ever remember doing that, and I would never have done that
Go
because that's
back,
not
go
who I
back.
am.
If you still got your little hold my beard things, go back and look for yourself.
I don't. That's just gone.
Well, I think this a question is, did he actually threaten to do it, but did he actually do it? That's
That
the
part I
actual
don't know,
point.
because
of that I had to change my phone number.
That's what I'm saying. I never released your number. I think I might still have it in my fucking phone, but I've never
Whether
released
you
your
did
number.
or didn't, my point is you threatened to release it because
Well,
you thought
I
these
don't
trolls
remember
were me.
doing that. I don't remember saying that.
And that's
That
why I had to
doesn't
change
sound
my
like me.
phone number. I was
Well,
forced
but
to
to
change
be
my
fair,
number because of that shit.
look, and not to like throw tit for tat, but before that, you were releasing streams with pictures of me and my ex.
Well, no.
My ex.
Let me clarify that. One.
Okay, please
There
do.
was only one picture. You sent it to me yourself. Now,
I did
when I made
because
the
we were
stream,
cool.
hold on. Now you know I make funny thumbnails, right? You know I've done that shit. The thing was
Fair.
the picture that I uploaded as a thumbnail was something you sent me. I accidentally put the wrong picture. I had another picture where I pasted Will's head over your ex-wife's face. I was gonna make a funny picture, but
Okay,
that's on
listen to
me.
what you just said there, right? You got mad because Crystal apparently gave Dark Horse pictures, right?
Well,
You posted
that's different though. There was no reason for her to send personal stuff to him anyway, because the stuff
there
had
was
nothing
no
to do with
reason for
him.
you to use a personal picture of me. Not that, like, we're not together anymore. There's no really, who gives a fuck.
Well, like
but
I said, I was going to paste Will's head above her face.
but you didn't.
But I accidentally put
And
on
it
the
was
wrong
up
thumbnail.
for it was
I've already
up for
said this before.
but it was up for an extended amount of time that you used a personal picture of me and my ex-wife in a time of joy.
Is the video still up?
No, it doesn't matter. It was done. Okay, stop being defensive. I'm asking a question. I'm being civil with you, right? I'm not raising my voice. We're having a discussion.
Here's the thing: is your ex-wife underage?
That's not what I'm saying. What does my ex-wife have to do with any of this?
You're bringing this up.
I'm making a point.
Your point?
Your point is that you get very vindictive when you feel like you're being like attacked, and no one's attacking you here. I'm just making points.
And what's really
Whatever
your
happens
point?
here, that's y'all's life. My point is, you can't get mad at her when you have been known to do the same kind of shit. Karma is a bitch.
I've leaked out like people's family members like that, people's kids. You saying that?
That you put out an innocent person, no matter how I felt about her at the time, whatever. She was an innocent person
Like
and everything.
that was an accident. I posted
An
the wrong
accident.
thumbnail.
Okay. So
I put up the wrong thumbnail.
If you accidentally put up the wrong thumbnail, then why did it stay for about a week?
No.
I don't think it was a week.
It was, because I was thinking that's really shitty. But the thing is, like, look. I'm not saying that like everybody's done fucked up shit. Everybody's done fucked up shit, right? Chase, let's go even further back. I admitted things about my past in a stream. Nobody gave a fuck when this Chayton stuff came out. When Chayton was gone, you were the one who brought up my criminal past.
I didn't bring that up. I wasn't the first one to bring it up.
No, let me finish. Let me finish.
So don't blame that on me, motherfucker.
Let me finish. See, again, why are you having this attitude? I'm not coming at you in a negative way.
Well,
I'm
get
having
to
a
your point, dude, 'cause I
conversation.
really don't want to talk to you, dude.
That's
Come on, man.
fine.
Come on.
That's fine.
Wait,
Hey,
guys,
it's fine.
we gotta keep it very, because we're all adults here. We
But
gotta.
get to
Exactly.
your point
At
about
the
it.
same time, I feel like we're
You actually
Okay.
talked to, people talked about your past. Yeah, I asked the stream about it. I wasn't
You
calling
made-
you the murderer. I wasn't the one who doing that shit.
What was the
You and
thumbnail?
him, huh?
No, what was the name of the stream, Chase?
Dan was a murderer with a question mark on it.
So, where do you think that's going to go?
If you looked at the title, you could tell that I wasn't calling you that.
Okay.
Other people were bringing it up before me.
Hey guys,
like,
I hate to interject, but like I gotta work at 8 o'clock in the morning. I haven't slept, so can we like move this?
I feel you,
Yeah,
girl. I'm only gonna be here for like
I'll-
20 more minutes.
I'm
Dan,
leaving.
get to your fucking point.
yeah.
So
Like,
look,
like
I'm not here. I'm
can
gonna
we
bounce.
all, can we all
I'm
admit
gonna
that we've had lives and we've all fucked up in our past, and can we like move forward?
And
'Cause
Crystal, that's what I'm trying to get you. It's like you can't put blame completely on someone else like her when you've done very shitty things to people. I'm not sitting here dogging you out and saying
I'm
Chase
only
is a
up to
piece of-
my shit, but you don't know the whole story.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying is you've done some fucked up shit, but you get defensive and angry and upset and you raise your voice and get loud. Let them talk to you. Let them convey their point. Stop getting mad. Have I come to you and made the whole streams about Chase said this and I'm pissed off? No, I'm having a
No, but you
civil
did make
conversation.
multiple streams like about me and
Well,
using
see,
me as a
that's-
catalyst for your little fucking podcast.
See, here's the thing. Here's the thing with me is that I haven't been on YouTube for a long time. I go on like my friends' pages and say messages or whatever, but every so often my name gets brought up, and I'm wondering, all right, here it is, 2 some odd years later, and my name's still being brought up, and I'm living my life trying to like get past all this, and I'm just like, why? I just don't understand like why I'm still being brought
That
up.
part I'll get to you. Like I said, like when the year started, like I wasn't planning on bringing it up or anything, but Dark Horse did that shit. I
But
messaged you telling
that's
you
the
about
thing.
it. Hold on. I told you about that shit. And what happened? Apparently, you told him or somebody else told him that he made a video claiming that apparently I was stalking you.
Let me ask you this.
Hold on, I'm asking her. Shut up.
Go ahead.
To Crystal, was I really stalking you, as Dark Horse was saying?
I don't think you were stalking me. I just think that you weren't ready to let go of.
All I did was message you, telling you what Dark Horse was doing. This shit was going to be brought up all over again, and it did.
Okay, but then again, did I call Dark Horse up and say, "Hey, bro, can you please upload these streams to make my life and Chase's life havoc again? Can you please?"
That's not what I'm saying.
What I'm saying is you were taking it out on me and bringing my.
I wasn't taking it on you. I was telling you what was going on.
Exactly.
Although that's probably the end result anyway. He actually did
Yeah,
that.
this whole stream is basically just feeding into him because it's like it's conflating two different scenarios. Like your situation,
like he's probably laughing like, oh, look at what these motherfuckers are doing.
He was claiming apparently that
too deep into your guys'.
That's why he called him Frieza for a reason. But yeah,
let me also. You said this before, Chase. You said before that someone told you to do some of these things that you've done. I'm not going to go into detail.
I feel like there needs to be a referee in here. Like somebody needs to blow a whistle so that way we don't talk each other.
So that's what I'm saying, Chase. Like if you said, look, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Tell me. You said that someone made you do all these things that you've done. You said someone has spoken to you and said for you to do certain, whether it be bring me up, bring Crystal up, bring other stuff. People are sending you DMs about stuff about you. So who's doing it?
I mean,
different people. And
Chase,
you want me to say names? You want me to say names?
I would love
Chase,
that.
you talk a lot about people's past and you want to keep bringing stuff up. I mean, but there's a lot of stuff.
I kind of have to at times. When people say shit and you associate with those people and you don't even bother to say like, no, that's not true.
You really wanted to bring up. I mean, like
this whole thing is cultivated based upon a lie that Dark Horse said, as far as like him being cool with Crystal. That's why you brought her in here.
Well, like I said, I don't. Well, yeah, Omega. I don't know nothing about that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just trying to make sure that look. I don't think Chase is the devil. I'm not saying that. I don't think Crystal's a horrible person.
A lot of people try to portray me as that or play out as a killer.
It's clear that both of you have mutual problems, but there's an exploit. There's an exploit that's happening, and what's happening is that there is an exploit, and that person who exploited is allowing the fuel to happen here on this panel.
But okay, so GTB, you're right. I think that to some regard, and I think Crystal, I'm agree with you again. Some of this stuff could be handled behind the scenes. Maybe you could find someone like a ZTB behind the scenes to be a mediator, so y'all could both speak. Someone who doesn't have a dog.
Handle it behind the scenes. I've offered to talk to me whenever, but instead she went on a stream with that Rican fucker and then did all this other shit.
Then y'all should have a conversation about that, perhaps. But I'm saying like
It's
but
hard to trust her now because when she associates with people like Dark Horse and these other drama people, it's
But
like
the
what
problem
the
is
fuck?
she isn't.
But the
Laura
thing-
North
that
was
is the
just
thing
lying
is, I'm
about
not.
it. She's saying that. Like
she's
lying.
not. She has basic conversations with them that are like, hey, hi.
Most recently, because based on the video, like they're saying it's a video that uploaded from months ago or whatever. Because
And here's the
like
thing, Jesus, you're going. I'm talking about like my.
Oh my
past
God, that's a flashback. That's what Hero said about me when I was just talking with Chayton.
So Chase, you were about to say it. You were about to say it.
Oh my God, that was a flashback. I was like, oh wow.
You were about Chase. You were about to say it before all this leaked into something else. Who told you to do all these things that you? Who was it?
When it comes to certain stuff, like the whole, like for you, for example, the whole murdering thing. I can't remember. It was either Hero or someone else that was telling me about like, oh, if you're about something about you admitting to being a murderer. It's like, what are you talking about? And they told me to go back to my the stream I did on the Double Z birthday stream because I never heard you say that. But I went back and I was like, what the fuck is this? And then apparently it was being brought up. I did make a stream saying like, oh, Dan is a murderer title with a question mark, and I gave my thoughts about it. And I know you went on a stream and you had talked about your past. You admitted to your shit, and that was all it was. And after that, I took the video down.
And I've never run from it. I'm not. Look, I know what I've done. I've lived with that sin. I've lived with trying to atone for my problems. Crystal, don't leave.
Yeah, I know that.
Crystal, I'm about to bounce. But like I said, Chase, what you just said, like you admitted that other people brought it up. Maybe not. Don't listen to other people trying to pull you into shit and just let it go. Yeah, she did a stream. She did a stream.
Bringing it up, like I said, other people brought it up first.
Fuck them, Chase. Fuck them.
My opinion
you follow these people. You go down the Grimrose path. Just leave it alone. You said it yourself. You were done with this shit. You want to go do Twitch? Do that, man. Do that shit. Leave it alone. Look, if I was
with all the shit that's happened, there are times where I pretty much have to defend myself.
You don't. Who cares what like Joe Blow says about you on the internet? Dude, I've had people call me the worst shit on here. I don't fucking care. Let it go. Dude, when you put that sack of rocks down,
I know they can't let it go, but when they got people who actually know me, who are still like associating with these people and letting this shit go on and think it's funny, I don't like that.
Then that's them. Then cut ties with them. I'm sorry, like that's just my piece. I'm not here to cause any animus. Crystal, was nice hearing from you. ZTB, always a pleasure. Magic, you know I love you to death, bro.
Yeah,
but like
absolutely.
I said, like Chase.
Crystal, were you the one that threatened to kill me?
But anyway, I'm out. Y'all have a good one.
I don't have any beef with you about that. I'll just laugh at that situation. But were you that Crystal that threatened to kill me like years ago? If you can remember.
Probably. She was a lot meaner back then. She seems to have lost a lot of her fire.
I mean, it's all good though. Like I'm not mad at you. I don't have no beef for you. But
the last thing I'll say though, is Chase, let it go, bro. I from like grapevine, I've heard you had a back issue, this and that. You got stressed. All this shit. Let it go. Just I'm telling you from experience. And hopefully there's a part of you that when we were still cool is in there, and that part of who you were when we were cool, and I thought I knew who you were is real. Part of that person is real. If he's still in there, and I would give him advice, this is that time. Let it go. Just fucking let it go. It's over. Start from today. What is it? April 24th, 2022. This is the first day of the rest of your life.
25th for me, but
fucking go. All right, so yeah, I'm out.
Peace, Dan. Later.
So about world peace.
Nah, but when it comes down to it, there were certain things, like I said, that did affect me that still bother me even to today.
Chase, let me get this out because there's a lot of things that you've done that you've disclosed to me, and I've heard from your friend that really bothered me, and that's one of the reasons I wasn't ready to talk to you when you wanted to talk. And I don't know if you want me to say those things live. I mean, you seem to think it's okay to tell everybody my personal.
If you want to bring up my thing, I'll bring up yours too. Let's get it all out.
You've already brought up my things. You want to know?
Well, not everything. Not everything.
What do you want to bring up? Go ahead, bring it all out.
Be careful, Chase and Crystal.
Guys, I'm gonna not advise that. But if you guys make the choice,
I'm
like
gonna
it's
bring up
just
certain things that still affect me.
Because some people can use that against you and clip it and then post it on their channel.
I'm not gonna go too far.
You know what I mean?
I'm only gonna speak on the things that still bother me. Just that stuff.
Go ahead.
Like for example, I try to be open with you. We had our problems. I try to be open to you and try to let you get to know me as a human being. Because I'm certainly not I'm not a conspiracy nutcase. I don't fucking I'm not a drug addict. I'm not an alcoholic. I don't beat kids. I don't beat women. I never put my hands on you. Have I?
Nope.
Have I ever threatened to kill you or whatever?
Nope.
There you go. But like people would say that shit and you wouldn't really say anything. You would just be there. And it's like, what the fuck? You try to take something that from like, did I get arrested when I was 17? Yes, for getting into a fight. Yeah, but for some reason, you and others try to take it and turn it into something like I was a fucking killer.
I didn't turn it. Other people turned it.
Well, you also did. I mean, like, what the fuck? And I tried to explain it to you.
When my family gets concerned.
Yeah, I even had to get my own mother to clarify that.
Okay, but yeah, it did need to be clarified because you want to know what? My family is very protective of me. And
do you believe I'm a threat to your family?
I didn't know because you lied to me about who you were. So my sister ran a background check on you because she didn't trust who you were because you lied to me. So for my family to be, okay, this guy lied to you, we're going to run a background check to make sure there's no other lies. They damn well have the right to do that.
Well, as of now, what do you see me as?
I don't know. Like I said, I was trying to see you as a friend, but you were proving that you weren't being a very good friend because you were.
I'll be honest though. I mean, it's hard to trust you at times because, like I said, the people you associate with, they don't keep secrets. They leak out a lot of things.
But Chase,
and I will put it like this: you were telling people apparently my mother abandoned me, and like when did my mother abandon me? That never happened. Why are you telling people that?
You said something about your mother and some things when you were younger. I don't even remember. Like I say, it's 2 years ago.
Do you want me to clarify that?
Go ahead.
Because I try to be open about my life. Yeah, I went to foster care for like 6 months when I was a kid because my mother was struggling financially. But the thing was, I told you about that. But after that, you were talking shit about her, saying I have no respect for a woman that abandons her child.
Well, because
that came from you.
Oh yeah, and that did come from me, and I'll admit I said that. You want to know why? Because I've struggled to the point where it was like, okay, I had no money, and I was wondering how.
Did you actually talk to my mother and ask her about the whole situation?
I've never been into drugs. I've never been to anything. I don't know what.
My mother wasn't into drugs or anything. It had nothing to do with drugs. She was not.
I don't know the situation. I just know that from my perspective.
But you jumped to the conclusion and said that she abandoned me. Okay, if she did, I wouldn't talk to her at all. I wouldn't visit her every week.
Okay, but from my perspective, this is only my opinion. It doesn't have to. Nobody has to agree with me. But when you let go of your kid because you're struggling, that feels like
there was other stuff involved. I don't even remember the whole thing because, like I said, I was a kid. But I know that when that happened, she visited me every week, brought me toys, things like that.
Okay, yeah, but I don't.
Why don't you ask her before you jump into conclusions?
It doesn't matter at this point because we're not together, so it doesn't matter.
This could have been better if you did.
But
but okay, guys, what do you guys want out of this? Because it seems like you guys go into semantics and you just continuously reflecting on the past and having a nostalgic throwback.
I want to get out the main reasons. Is like because the things, some of the things that happened that caused me not to trust you is obviously the lies. And I don't know if you want me to even say this live about what Mark told me about the video that was in his phone and what you did with it.
If you want to, I'll clarify that too.
Okay. So Mark told me about how you lied about the house, how you lied about having money, how you lied about who you were living with and all that stuff. And then he disclosed to me about the fact that he had a sex tape of him and his girlfriend on his phone, and you took his phone and you took his sex tape and you.
But I told you why I did that.
No, there was no reason to steal.
Oh yes, it was.
What was the reason for you stealing your friend's sex tape? That's kind of nasty.
Because the video itself, he was recording her without consent.
She never said that.
He showed me his phone of pictures of tattoos is one thing. I accidentally see the video, and I see the video. She says, "Are you recording?" And he says, "No." And before that, she was asking me like, "Oh, did Mark ever show you tapes of us doing anything?" And I'm like, "No."
But you want to know something? I've talked to Crystal also privately, and you probably don't know that. I've talked to her.
Go ahead.
And she verified that she knew that her and Mark made sex tapes. So if she said that she didn't say that was okay, she knew because she actually allowed.
When you saw the video, it's like apparently she didn't know. She asked, and he said no. But he's recording.
But even if it wasn't, that didn't give you a right to steal your friend's sex video. And
it was just pretty messed up, though. I mean, you're filming someone without consent. What the fuck?
But it's also messed up that you're taking your friend's sex video and sharing it to your own phone for your own personal use.
It wasn't. It was to show Crystal what was going on.
But Crystal admitted to me that she knew that was happening because she used to let him record.
Well, I don't know, because she asked me before, like, I mean, if he sent me anything or showed me anything, and I said no.
What you should have did at that point is said to her, I saw Mark's phone. He has a video of you and him in there, and you should have said that privately. You shouldn't have shared the video to hold on to. That's kind of private. You shouldn't have other people's sex videos in your phone.
It's kind of like, to the point where sometimes you need proof.
But listen, to me that was kind of creepy because I'm like,
it was messed up on my. I probably shouldn't have done it on my end, but like I said.
And then I'm thinking to myself, okay, this guy's stealing sex videos from his friends, and I have him around my kids. And I'm just like, I didn't know what to think because you lied to me about who you were. And I'm hearing all these bad things about you from other people. And I don't know who you truly are because you lied to me.
In reality, you really didn't bother to really get to know me as a human being. I made mistakes, obviously, but you kept on doing this shit, talking shit.
But here's the thing.
All this shit. You've been judgmental. You fucking try to rush shit all the fucking time.
Here's the thing is I would have gotten to know you had you not lied to me from the beginning.
Either way, you didn't even want to get to know me afterwards when I apologized and all that shit.
Yeah, but apologies.
You kept on bringing up past shit, trying to put me down all the fucking time, and it pissed me the fuck off.
But what are you doing for the past, since Dark Horse reshared videos, bringing up things from the past? How many times have you
You got people like Dark Horse who stalks people's social medias, and Omega can testify this in ZTV.
But Chase, can
and then people keep bothering me about it. It's pretty much I have to defend myself. You're not there. You don't have my fucking back.
Okay, but let me say something.
You're still associating with that fucker.
All right, let me say something. As far as
anyone who associates with him, it's a
Can I get a word out?
Go ahead.
Okay, so
again, that's what people said about me and Chayton, because I had Chayton on my panel, that anyone that associates with Chayton should be blacklisted. It's the same.
It's hard to trust them.
The same exact shit.
Because Dark Horse is a manipulator.
Okay, but what was
I just don't like that blacklisting shit. I think if you talk with a person, I don't think you should be blacklisted or be deemed as an untrustworthy person. I think it's the actions that speaks character. So if you associate with a person, I don't think you should be blacklisted, if that makes sense. I think you should just look through the actions and make it consistent to you not trusting that person. I think that would be a more probable thing to do.
It is so fucking childish. The whole childish, oh, you talk to that person, you're not cool with me type of bitch shit.
Okay,
yeah, it's high school. It's high school.
I mean, going off that logic, then that means I can't affiliate with Dark Horse at all. Because over the years, when I had people that were cool with me and him, I should have implemented this on him for a long time ago. But I didn't do that because it didn't matter to me.
Chayton, the link is in the live chat.
I also have to say, to Crystal, you are quite judgmental, and you do jump into conclusions a little too much.
Okay, I would say the same for you.
Not as much as you, where you've taken it to extremes.
I do get judgmental because when it involves people in my life and around my kids.
But even people you don't know.
I'm allowed to have my opinions, Chase. This is you're allowed to have.
But not to say it to where it's completely offensive.
Hey, you know what? People have been completely offensive to me, so maybe sometimes I feel like.
But you do it. I'm not talking about YouTube wise. I'm talking about outside of it.
Okay, and I'm not allowed to voice my opinions or have my own.
Yeah, but some of the stuff you say is just fucking messed up.
And some of the stuff you say on live stream is messed up. You felt like you overlooked my issues. Well, if you had problems with my issues,
here's the thing: I wasn't judgmental to you as you were to me. You use more of Facebook to talk instead of actually talking to me as a human being.
Because you lied to me.
You're fearful of confrontation.
Listen,
you're even afraid to admit when you're wrong.
I'm not fearful of confrontation.
Not saying you're always wrong, but there are times where you are wrong.
I'm not.
And you don't want to admit it.
I'm not saying I'm afraid to admit I'm wrong. Sometimes I go overboard and I say stuff I don't mean, but you know what? Everybody does that. That's part about being human. But you've done
a lot.
You say me afraid of confrontation? Chase, you were in my house and I was yelling at you face to face. I am not afraid of you or anybody else. I've never been afraid.
You use it more as a way not to talk to me. When I tried to talk to you civil.
You try to talk to me.
I still have the recording of it if you want me to play it.
Okay, yeah, I scream and yell because I'm feeling.
I wasn't yelling at you. You were yelling at me.
Yeah, because I'm overwhelmed because I have a person who lied to me completely about who they were living in my house, and I can't even get a break because you're living with me.
I wasn't really talking to you much. I was working and doing my own
but
thing.
You're still under my own roof.
The only time you were nice to me or tried to talk to me was on the days I got paid. That's it.
I'm not at that because you were living with me, so I expected you to pay something because you were living here. The point is, I told you could leave, and you didn't want to leave because you kept thinking.
I wanted to fix things with you.
Okay, but things weren't getting fixed at that time.
You didn't want to fix it.
I didn't want to fix it because I wasn't ready to. If you had said, okay, I'm going to buy a plane ticket, I'm going to go back to Texas, and we're going to restart this.
You could have at least talked to me in the process, even about that, but you didn't.
I wasn't.
You didn't.
Ready.
Not once.
I wasn't ready. You can't pressure somebody to be ready.
I wasn't pressuring you.
Staying here, and when I'm telling you can leave, that's pressuring me because I felt like you weren't going to leave until I gave you what you wanted.
No.
It took
All
you.
I wanted to do was talk to you.
It took me
and find
months. Listen, Chase, it took me months of being completely mean to you for you to actually leave.
No,
Like, you weren't getting the hint. I was like, I don't want to be with you. I don't want this to happen right now. I don't want to talk to you. And you kept saying, well, we can talk. Just talk to me. Just talk to me. And I'm like, I don't want to. And you kept saying, come on, just give me a chance and just talk to me. And I'm like, I don't want to right now. Like, when people tell me to do it on their terms, it's never going to happen.
I was never saying to do it on my terms. I gave you 2 months.
But you kept, I know, but
I kept my distance from you.
Maybe, yeah, not you were living with me. You can't keep your distance to my house. I didn't even want to go.
We were living in 2 different spots. I was living.
You were living in my finished basement. That's where my laundry room is. I have to go down there to do laundry, and that's my living area. So I made my living room into a bedroom for my son.
I mean, point is, you were in the same vicinity as her, and it's like,
but like we didn't really like hang around much. We didn't really talk much.
Exactly, but you were living here, so I didn't even want to go downstairs to do laundry because I felt awkward in my own house.
I just feel like still, it's like you could have just like
when you lied to me and me and you broke up, you should have left and went back to Texas. That's what should have happened. And you should have said, you know,
I'm not even gonna go there and say.
I could have probably done that.
Like, you can't.
But like for a while, I stayed and wanted to try to make things work, and especially it was before the holidays, people.
Okay, yeah, before the holidays, but it doesn't matter. Just because it was Christmas doesn't mean I'm gonna be like, okay, let me open a box of happiness because you lied to me. Like, I don't care if it's like, it doesn't matter about the holidays.
I made my decision. You made yours.
Exactly, but your decision wasn't coherent to mine. You were in my house. It's not like I was in your house refusing to leave, and you were like, okay, well, that's what my.
Well, it's not. No.
I felt like I was under pressure because you were.
I wasn't trying to pressure you on anything. I was giving you time. Like I said, I gave you 2 months.
No,
and at the point, like I said, if I kept staying, it would just been me paying you money every week, whatever that may be.
But listen to what you're saying.
It is what it is.
Listen to how
it was obvious you didn't want to talk to me, or that it was because like Sean was hanging around, he wasn't going to let us talk. So,
can you listen to what you're saying, Chase?
What?
I gave you 2 months. No, let me turn this around. I gave you 2 months because you wouldn't leave my house. I could have said, get the fuck out of my house, but you would not leave. You were like adamant.
If you wanted me to leave, you could have just told me to leave.
I told you I wanted you to leave several times, and you kept saying, I put in an ad for an apartment. I don't have nowhere to go. I have no money to get home right now. You told me that 1 million times. So you couldn't leave at that time.
Yeah, my money was going to her ass.
Yeah, because you were living here.
Yeah, you were charging me a lot.
I want to charge you a lot. What are you talking about?
$200 a week.
And how much do you think rent is if you live somewhere? Can you live anywhere for $800 a month?
Depending where you are in Massachusetts. But still, it's like, did you really have to charge me $800 knowing that your rent was only $350?
My rent's subsidized because I have kids, but that's anybody's business.
That's not the point, though.
Yeah, because it
doesn't make sense that I'm paying 2.5, almost 3 times the amount of what your rent is.
Because I also have gas. I also have
you've had other people live with you. You had Sean live with, like for example, you had Sean live with you because his mom kicked him out for whatever. He didn't pay shit. You had some other people live with you. You only charged him $600. Okay. So like, what the fuck?
Okay, listen. You were living.
Damn Castle or Crystal? Sorry.
I don't know.
You were living with me. And I said, okay, gas, electric. There was cable downstairs. You were using the internet. It was all the things that were being within the house. There was other things. There was food. There was everything that was involved.
Well, I paid for my own food.
Now, at the beginning, you weren't. You lived with me for a while and didn't pay for anything until you got a job. Silence, exactly.
No, hold on. I was checking, so I was letting you talk.
But what I'm saying
I was working. Like, unlike Sean and these other fuckers, I work. Like, everything I do, I pay for myself. Nobody fucking helps me. I don't get assistance. I do it all by myself.
That's great. Good for you. Do you want a medal?
Huh? Yeah, now you're trying to be a smart ass? Okay.
No, I'm just saying you're like hopping on, I don't get assistance.
You're saying like all this shit, like saying, if it wasn't for me and like, shit. Like, what the fuck?
Okay, but people like me, single moms and stuff, we do get assistance because we have kids to take care of. And sometimes the world is a little bit overwhelming with the way the economy
is. You're making it sound like I was mooching off you.
You weren't.
I don't need you or anyone. I've proven that.
Okay, but please explain to me why you moved down here and you didn't even have a suitcase. You came down with the clothes on your back and not even a suitcase, and you had zero money. You had to borrow $2 from me just to get in the airport to whatever you were doing. I don't know. But
I did have money before I went, but my mom told me it was best to like pay off whatever I owed here. That way, if I can start building on my credit, and I have been building my credit since.
But okay, so how did you think that was going to go? Moving in with a girl that you never really even met in person, you've only talked to online. You're moving in.
Here's the thing. I'm confident in my abilities. I've I used to live where I had nothing. I built myself from scratch.
Okay, but what I'm saying, let me get my thought out. How did you think it was going to turn out when I found out about all the lies and you were living under my roof and you came down here with nothing? How did you think that was going to turn out? You thought I was going to be like, oh, yeah, okay, I'm going to forgive you. And yeah, sure, you can.
If it didn't work, I was going to go back.
But you didn't go back. You stayed.
I did go back.
Yeah, after like 2 months of me telling you.
Yeah, but after the 2 months, I decided to go back because it's obvious you and I weren't going to fix anything.
Yeah, I made that clear literally like the week after. I was making it clear that I didn't want to fix things at that time, and you kept saying, oh, "Come on, like just talk to me, just talk to me."
Even like I said, it was during the holidays and shit. Like I said, you had the kids, my family, and everything. I was really wanting to fix things. I know I had fucked up.
My kids never even met your family, so it didn't even get that deep. I met your family like twice, so it wasn't even that deep as you're making it sound. It wasn't. You came down here. I met your family a couple times. I gave you rides down to go see them. That's the thing is you showed up here, no license, no money, nothing to show. And then it took you like a month and a half to find a job, whatever.
No, it wasn't a month and a half.
It was at least a month.
No, it was like 2 weeks.
Oh, it was more than that.
It was 2 weeks.
I feel like it was more than that.
It took 2 weeks. Because I moved there in early of November, and I ended up working in middle of November.
And I feel it was longer than that. That's what I feel like.
No.
Either way.
I can go back and I can even prove that even with bank statements.
It doesn't matter. Either way, you were living here, and I told you could leave.
I was living there, helping you out, doing what I could. Even when we had problems, I was still helping you out.
That's what I'm saying is I didn't need.
And you show no appreciation whatsoever.
What I'm saying is I didn't need your help. I wanted you to leave. I would have made ends meet.
Well, either way, I left. I'm here. You're over there.
But you're trying to make me feel guilty about you paying rent and you helping me. I only made you do that because I wanted you to leave and you wouldn't leave. So I'm like, all right, if he's not going to leave, he's going to pay rent.
That's why you're charging me so much?
What's $200 a week? You know how much rent in Massachusetts is? You would get nothing in Massachusetts for $800 a month. Nothing.
New York rent is $1,800.
Either way, I have no idea right now. Depending where you live, there are some
for one bedroom?
No, for like 2 or 3 bedrooms.
She gets government housing. Like the place I live in now, I pay
a normal bedroom size for like a studio would be like $900 or $800.
Exactly, for a studio.
Okay.
But like I said, I don't know. I mean, she already knew what my wages were at the time, and like I said.
But Chase, it doesn't matter what assistance I get. I get the assistance because I'm a single mom raising my children, and you know my assistance is null and void because now I'm working 2 jobs, so I no longer need that. So the thing is, before I wasn't working as much, so I needed it. The more I work, the less I get, and I don't care if I have assistance or not because I'm not one of those lazy people who have kids and just sit at home and collect state assistance. That's not me. I only took what I was allotted at the time because maybe I have kids' fathers who weren't paying child support on time, and maybe I needed that. But it's not like, and you say, oh, she gets assistance. So what? It's not like you're raising kids and you have to worry about finances. I have to worry about
even myself. Though I was still helping you, but you still wanted me. You still wanted to charge me a large amount. It didn't matter.
Even if you weren't here, I've lived my entire life.
That's not the point.
Listen, yes, it is. The point is, I'm about to be 40 years old. I've lived my entire life since I was 17, supporting myself and supporting my children. I don't need anybody to help me. I've done it alone my entire life. So you being here, the only reason
we already know that part. I'm even clarifying too. So I don't need anybody to take care of me either.
And I made an agreement with you. Pay $200 a week, whether that was more than my rent or not. It was going towards the other bills. You were also using internet, gas, taking showers, whatever, laundry. It was going towards all that. And whether it was more than my rent,
but is it really all like add up to $800 a month, or
yeah,
800
actually,
between 800 and 1,000?
Yeah, my electric bill is almost $300 a month. Actually, it does. So.
I can vouch for that.
my electric bill is like probably like 115.
My electric bill for this house is like about $300 a month. My gas bill is probably like $150 to $200 a month, depending on what time of the year it is. Probably more.
I don't have a gas bill. Everything's electric. So
mine's is 4. Yeah, mine's 400 and something. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, that's what it was. And believe me, and you, I even told you that when you were looking for, when you said you put an ad in for apartments, the cheapest place was near the Taunton Green, and they wanted like $250, $300 a week. So,
I had a choice between either still staying in Massachusetts and trying to fix things with you, or just going back to Texas where I could pretty much make more money and do what I.
And you said that you could have done that back in Texas, and
I did.
Yeah, but 2 months later, and you were complaining about having to pay me rent, and I said you can leave if you want, and you were like, no, I want to work things out. And I'm like,
I mean, I had no problem with paying you rent. I just wanted to negotiate. It's like, because I got to pay for something.
But that's what I'm saying.
I was due for an eye exam in order to buy more contacts. And for like 2 weeks before I left, I was like freaking. I only had I was wearing only one contact lens. I couldn't get any more because I had to pay for an eye exam, which was $200.
Okay, but this is what I'm trying to get at, Chase, with you is
I tried to talk to you about that, but you didn't want to talk to.
You can't
you didn't want to listen.
But what I'm saying is, you can't get mad at me for making you pay a set amount a week.
Either way, I'm not. That's not. I don't care about that.
All right, but can I finish my sentence? You cut me off every single time. What I'm saying is, you can't get mad at me and say she made me pay rent. She made me pay more than what her actual rent is, and use that against me in an argument.
I'm not going to use that against you.
Okay, let me finish. I'm not done yet. What I'm saying is, you can't keep saying that because I told you you were free to leave at any time. You didn't want.
I know that.
So
and I did.
You can't say I paid her $200 a week. Well, you know what? You didn't have to. You could have walked out.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so don't use that against me. I said $200 a week.
I was hoping that you and I could even talk and shit, but that didn't happen. Instead, it was just more drama. You let Sean go on telling lies, and it just made things worse.
Okay, but at that point, you should have said, you know what? She's not talking to me. I don't want to pay $200 a week. I think I'm paying too much, even though it really wasn't. I don't feel like paying this girl money. She's not talking to me. Her friend's talking shit about me. I don't like her friend Sean, so I'm gonna walk out this door.
And I'll even add to that. Like as far as the rent thing, I don't give a fuck about that. Okay, like whatever I paid you, I'm paying more than what I'm doing now. My point is, like we couldn't even talk or anything. But I chose to leave at the beginning of February. I left. I went back. So, got a job. I even worked fucking 3 jobs. Shit. And but I know you and I were able to fix things, but only after you and Sean had your little cat fight at the restaurant because you wouldn't tell a woman because he wanted you to lie to a woman that he was a professional wrestler or whatever the fuck, and he got mad and he left the restaurant and got an Uber or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, but see, Harold, we're talking about all these things now. Now, what I'm trying to get to the end of the topic, the whole reason I came on the stream was that here we are, 2.5 some odd years later, COVID hit. Father just passed away. It'll be what's today, the 24th, 23rd. It's going to be a couple days away from.
Well, let's get to the bottom. Let's get to the bottom line. How about that?
Oh no, actually, today is Monday, April 25th. So the 26th of March, my dad died. So in one more day, it's going to be a month to the day that my father passed away. That I lost half of my heart. So let me tell you this: the reason I came on this stream was to tell you that this needs to all stop. This happened years ago. It doesn't matter what you did, what I did. The fact of the matter is,
no, 400 for gas, Lennon, not 400 for electronic.
I'm gonna buzz.
I think I've only asked for one simple thing from you, Crystal.
And what is that? What do you want from me, Chase? I need to know. What do you want?
Basically, it was to tell the truth.
And what did I say?
When seeing you on these streams with these people that start drama and stuff, and seeing them lie, it's like, what the fuck to me?
I didn't say anything bad. I just let them say this. You know what people?
I've held shit. I haven't told anybody certain things, whether you said or done, no matter how fucked up it was. I mean, but
people are going to make up.
I would like to fix things with you. I really would, but it's just hard to trust you. How can I be open with you on anything, knowing you're gonna because you have a history of leaking out personal stuff to other people?
And you don't.
I was at the point. Hey. You started the shit first. I'm like, what the fuck? I have to defend myself when certain claims are made.
The thing about you is you do things, but when people do them back to you, you get mad and you get upset and you raise your voice and you scream because you're mad because people are treating you just as you're treating them. It's okay for you to do it.
Give me a statistic.
Just like now, just what you did, like talking about it. The minute you opened up the chat and started talking about me, you're like, oh, I accepted her flaws. I did this. I did that. Like you wanted a golden medal in the chocolate.
I'm talking about the difference between me and you.
Difference between me and you is I never needed.
You're not accepting. You're judgmental.
I'm judgmental to a point, yeah, but I'm.
You're judgmental. You're far beyond judgmental.
Okay, I'm allowed to be judgmental.
You judge people by the fucking color of their fucking skin.
I have black friends. I have white friends. There's reasons I don't like certain people, and I'm allowed to not like certain people.
Okay, what was the reason? What did you have against my friend and where you started saying racist stuff, saying that she deserves to go back to Mexico?
Because I don't know you, because your friend, because you said, oh, this is my good friend, and I tried to send her a friend request on Facebook, and she wouldn't accept it.
All because she wouldn't accept you on Facebook.
Yeah, because she was being shady. That's like me saying, that's like you saying, okay.
But did she say anything negative about you?
No, but I didn't know her, and I was gonna get to know her, and she didn't even try to get to know me. So I'm like, okay, clearly she's hiding something.
How long was it between the time you sent her the request and whatever?
I don't even know, but she didn't accept
I
it.
know it wasn't that long, and she didn't check her Facebook, or she didn't see it. I mean,
I don't
you got
know, but that's put it in your perspective. That's like you say you finding one of my guy friends and being like, "Oh, who's that?" And then knowing that we're
Well,
talking.
I never got mad. I mean, I let you hang out with whoever. I
Yeah, but
mean,
I'm saying is, say you sent one of my guy friends a request, and you were dating me or something, and you wanted to know what the background was or whatever, and you wanted to talk to that person, and that person ignored
did you message her?
No, I didn't message her.
I mean, you could have messaged her and let her know. I mean,
no, she knew I was sending her a friend
because you
request.
gotta understand, like she has a private Facebook, and a lot of guys try to hit her up and things like that.
What's that got to do with me?
I'm saying if she didn't see it, then she didn't see it because she said she didn't see it.
Well,
she didn't look at her friend's request.
Well, I don't know, but that's what I'm saying. It's
But
going back.
you got mad. I mean, because I told you she was my friend. There was nothing sexual between us ever for like out of the 7 years we knew each other at the time. But you got upset because me and her went to the movies, and then you were telling me, oh, she didn't accept my Facebook, and then fuck this bitch. You put her back in Mexico now. I can see why Trump wants to build a wall. I should build one around my house. Like, what the fuck?
But see, the thing is,
I saw the messages where you said that.
Well, yeah, I can admit I said stuff like that because I was pissed off, and when people get pissed off, they say
all because she didn't accept your friend request.
Yeah, and you know what? You always held a.
This isn't the only stuff you said.
Okay, but listen, here I am with a history of 15 years of friendship with Sean, and all you ever did was bash my friend constantly. So I bash your.
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to put this like this: when Sean exposed his private parts, it's like the same thing as the EDP when he went to meet a 13-year-old. If you're going to keep staying on social media, people are going to talk about it.
And it's probably the same size.
It's like your career is over on YouTube. If you choose to say it's going to be bad for you.
I know, but what I'm saying
the guy was wanting attention. That's why he tried to get involved in the whole Charlie shit.
Okay, but even after that whole pedophile thing and all that, you still like said a lot of your streams were based on Sean this, Sean that, and it
only some of my streams were, not all of them.
Okay, but I made a couple comments about your friend because I was pissed off.
And by the way, weren't you the one that hit me up first when I didn't even know you back in 2017? You were bringing me up about the whole Sean thing.
I don't even remember. See, I can't remember back.
Because you hit me up with your son's account because he apparently blocked you and you saw me. I was on his Facebook thing.
Maybe I don't even remember.
I go back and show all that.
No, I can't. That's what I'm saying. Is none of that even matters right now. The whole fact of the matter is that all this is old news, and why are we still talking about it?
Yeah. Chase,
I just want the whole truth to come out. That's one thing.
Chase, at best, I'm not trying to blame you at anything at all or whatever.
It's gonna be.
Let's just say like she is like in cahoots, whatever, with Dark Horse and all this stuff. Like one of y'all has to do the hard thing, which is simply just take the high road and be like, okay, she could say whatever the fuck she want to say up or them as far as they goes, but really it doesn't affect me because I know what transpired and she knows what transpired in that conversation between me and her. But all in all, like your response to Dark Horse whenever he does bring this shit up is just simply go fuck a cousin.
I know one thing is that Dark Horse was pretty much the catalyst of bringing up this whole shit all over again.
That's why I'm saying what I'm saying.
This is like the Maury show online. This is pretty much what it is.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm like. I miss the old days when people beef about if John.
Can I bring up one other thing? Can I say one other thing too? Okay, so what, Chase? Now, before you answer, I want you to listen to me. What is this thing with you and Rem? Like, I know how your beef is with Rem because of what happened between me and him in the past. But what is your thing about going on and talking about his looks and just bashing him for like he's not talking about your looks. Like when he responds to you, it's because you said something about him. Like, I don't understand why you keep going after him when he's not even.
Well, here's the thing. Yesterday, I wasn't planning on bringing up Ren, but he left in the chat running his mouth talking shit. I even screenshotted that. I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like, he's bringing up you, and then.
Yeah, I think he basically said in the chat, why do you keep bringing up me and Crystal? Why do you keep bringing up.
Why was he saying it for that stream? It wasn't even about him or you.
Because you brought it up in a previous stream. I don't know, but
I haven't talked about you in weeks before that.
My name has been mentioned. Weeks. You talked about me the day my dad died, and I was brought up.
Well, that was like what, like 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, what I'm saying is, and then my name comes
like
up.
The title of the stream didn't even have nothing to do with any of that.
Yeah, but my name has been mentioned in a couple.
But I don't understand why it was part of it. He wanted to type it on that particular stream.
My name gets brought up in the stream, and then the stream gets privated, so we can't go back and reference it.
Well, I'll keep this one public. How about that?
What I'm saying is we can't go back and reference if you keep privating everyone.
Well, I'll keep this one public. You want me to explain when it comes to Rem?
Oh, don't we already know? I'll explain it. I went to go see Rem. I spent a shit ton of money. Then he told me shit wasn't going to work out. And I got pissed off and I called you and told you about it because I was venting. But then I chose as an adult to go see him again because me and him had an amazing time together the first time.
That you visiting and all that, that's not what bothers me.
What you bothers me is because you thought he used me for money, and it wasn't that. You want to know?
It's not. It was his actions pretty made it seem like that. Hold on. Here's the thing. A guy does this, whatever the fuck. Him telling you, like, giving you this thing, oh, you should move to North Carolina, to wherever he is, and do this and do that, or he wants to be with you, blah blah blah. And him telling you that he wants to be friends as soon as you're driving back or flying back, doing it more, saying it's happened more than once, and it's like, what the fuck?
Let me go behind this. It's not that Rem did not like me. The thing is, me and him would have an amazing time together.
Whatever's between y'all is between you. Either way, that shit was disrespectful to me.
Okay,
I didn't like that shit.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Whether I like him or I'm not planning on. Thing is, I have no interest in talking to him.
Can I bring something up though? At one point, this is a valid point. I was in North Carolina visiting with Rem. This is like the second or third.
Either way, that's your thing. I don't care. No. I don't care.
This is about you.
I made my decision on Rem. When it comes to Rem, okay, I don't care. I ain't fucking with him. I don't want to talk to him. That's it.
Hello, you're not. I'm not.
Go ahead.
You have to talk to him. See, you get an attitude. You don't let people finish what they're saying.
But like,
at one point.
Yeah, I would agree to like private it, but this is Chase's panel, so this is all big.
Charlie wants to say something.
So much.
You got that much time. What do you want to say, Charlie?
Okay, sorry, I was trying to be patient, not anything. First off, I'm gonna try not to be too long with my damn well say, but I honestly don't know everything that's going on. I just really know what's going on here because I got sent the link, so I was just checking out. Chase, apparently somebody made a stream about you or some shit.
Yeah, Rick and Jay thing.
Okay.
Apparently he's going to make multiple videos on me, so.
Okay.
And with this stream included, there'll probably be more.
They're going to do a response and this and that.
Yeah. Yep. So one thing that like I said, I've been out of the loop for the last week. I'm focusing on other stuff right now that's more important to this bullshit. But one thing I've kind of learned from different appearances and something everybody said in here, by doing this response, which honestly is not necessary because if you know, like what Omega said earlier, if you know what your side is true, Crystal knows her side. I don't know who Chris, or I don't know you personally, so I can't say anything regarding the matter. So both parties know their own truths in that regard. So why is it such a issue? Why, because Crystal said something about you on different videos, so you got mad and you needed to respond, knowing that then people are going to take this. And then,
like me and her, I've offered, if you wanted to talk and hash these out, we could do it. But instead, she went on. I don't know whose idea it was, but she did a sling apparently today with the dude and talk about this, and this.
I'm going to tell you.
That's really where it's at. Like, Chase is just angry at the fact that she went on Rick and Jay's panel and not come to
I told her, you hit me up, call me anytime you want.
I'm about to peace out because I got to go to bed. So if you want me to say my piece, I got to say my piece. People can't keep interrupting me. I can't do this all night.
Yeah, I'm out in 10 minutes. Yeah.
All right, so listen. I went on Jay's stream because it was asked of me because it was response of videos you've done and mentioned them in the past. And I wanted to air my voice about, because there's been so many times that my name has been mentioned in your chats, in your streams, and I've never once recently, I'm not talking about in the past, but I've never once recently had my own stream. I have a YouTube channel, but I never use it. I don't go on streams. I don't talk about people. That's in the past 2 years, I haven't done one stream or said your name once. So what I'm saying is my name has been mentioned enough times to where I said, you know what, Jay, yeah, I'm going to come on your stream and I'm going to say what's going on and I'm going to say my piece, because I feel like my name has been mentioned plenty of times online that I have a right to at least one time come on and speak my voice and my words and let people hear my version, my side of the story, because there's always two sides to every story. So as many times as you mention me, whether it's come from people in your chat, or you just randomly saying something about me, like, oh, Crystal didn't defend me or this, whether you said one sentence about me, or 2 sentences, or the entire chat was about me. The fact is, my name has been mentioned, so I had a right to go on there and at least defend myself once. And that's what I did. And actually, if you guys all feel like it, that chat is public. You can go listen to it. Not once did I say anything bad about Chase. All it says, I don't understand why all this crap is still being brought up. Me and him agreed to be friends, and he's still allowing people to bash me in his chats, and he's not being a very good
Who's
friend.
bashing you right now?
Who do you think was bad? There was people bashing me in the chats, calling me a hoe beast and all that, and you not once defending
Those
me.
people got blocked.
What I'm saying is you weren't, but the thing is, we agreed to be friends, and you were still allowing people to badmouth me even after that.
When?
So, just tonight they were saying it. Just the other day they were saying it. After we've already agreed to be friends. It's been like
Wait, the other day? When the other day?
it's been a couple weeks now that we've been talking privately, and people have been saying stuff in your chats about me, and you just ignore it.
Where though?
On your streams, on your chats. Like, I'm not gonna go back and pinpoint everything.
If
but
somebody said something in the chat, anyone that said anything negative, they get blocked.
yeah, well,
Did they come on the panel and say anything about you?
I don't know. I'm just saying, is people.
I don't recall. If I'm missing something, tell me.
I don't know, but what I'm saying is, I felt like I needed to say what I need to say, and I didn't even say anything bad. Like, people can go listen to that chat, and nothing was bad.
Here's the thing, though: you going on Reek and Jay or whoever's in that group is not a good thing to do.
But that's your opinion.
It's not just mine.
Do you want me? I'm going to tell you, Chase, right now. Those guys in the asylum, they're all my friends. I've met a couple of them personally. They're my friends, and whether you like it or not, they're going to be my friends. And if
I don't care about that, but I just know how they act.
If I want to go on my friend's stream and talk, I'm going to go on my friend's stream and talk. Just like when you feel like you need to voice your opinion, you're going to keep
when they talk shit about me, you just go along with it and laugh with it.
And I got to ask you a question. Are you sure that when you go on their stream to talk about Chase, that they genuinely care about your situation between you guys, or they're just going on, you just want you to go on their stream that way? They can add more fuel to the fire to go get Chase.
I know these guys. I've had plenty of time talking to each one of them, and they do care about me as a person. They care about my experiences and stuff. We've all talked privately. It's not...
Does that include Dark Horse?
Huh?
Does that include Dark Horse?
Dark Horse and me have had a rough past, but he's my Facebook friend, and he's not part of the asylum. So
big mistake.
He's not.
I said my piece about it. I'll just ask him, but go ahead.
Dark Horse is not part of the asylum. When I say I'm friends with the guys of the asylum, I'm friends with the guys that are in the asylum. I'm not saying that's not including Dark Horse. Dark Horse is on my Facebook friends, and we've made peace. I wouldn't say me and Dark Horse are best friends, but we're civil. And that's
why it's like be hard to even be open with you and start over with you, because it's associated with people that still like to manipulate and try to get involved in personal stuff.
Okay, but just because somebody brings up an old thing doesn't mean I'm saying, okay, yeah, go ahead and do it. And just because, that's like you saying, okay, examples. Chase is friends with Bob. Bob says something bad about Chase. Just because Bob says something bad about Chase, I'm not allowed to be Bob's friend. Like, no, that's not how life works. Just because you don't like somebody doesn't mean I'm not going to like somebody.
I'm not going to tell you who to like or not like.
But if somebody,
I never did.
Dark Horse did me wrong back in the day, and he knows that. He apologized. Since then, everything's been fine. He chose on his own regard to bring up some old videos and old clips between me and you.
But what was his purpose of that?
I don't know. I wasn't in cohorts with him.
To add drama to Chase. That's what my point is saying.
Exactly, but that shouldn't be.
But
he added you into the equation.
My next question to you is this: like, at some point, because I'm pretty sure you'll get tired of hearing your name. Hell, you are tired of hearing your name, right?
I've been tired of hearing the past 2 years.
Right. So I'm just saying, at some point, like, are you willing to tell them, like, hey, listen, whatever beef you have between you and Chase, that's between you and Chase, and just leave me out of this because I'm done with it.
You know what? I've had a private conversation with Dark Horse about that before, and I've said, listen, I don't want to be involved in any of the drama. I want to be left off of YouTube. I want to live my life. I want to take care of my kids. I want to work. I don't want anything. I've told Rem this. I've told the guys in the asylum. I've told Dark Horses. I've told everybody that I want nothing to do with YouTube drama. The only thing I want to do is go on and listen to the wrestling streams and be in the chats and have a good time when I have time that I'm off of work and I just chilling, laying down my bed, resting or whatever, and I want to go on and just talk.
Okay, I got cut off again. And Sing Game HD wanted to ask this question. Do you still have feelings for Crystal? Because he's judging by the reaction that
honestly,
don't put him on the spot. Oh, come on, man.
I don't think I'm going to say that right now. I don't think that's fair. Because I think that's something that he would have to say privately to me, and that's between me and him. That's not anybody else's business. That needs to stop. That should need to stop.
I think the only thing that people need to know is that me and Crystal will never be back together.
No, we're not going
I
to.
definitely do think you guys do care for each other in some sort of way. Because if you didn't, you would just let bygones be bygones. But I think that you guys have definitely have, I guess, a mutual,
Let me say it this
I
way.
guess, connection.
Let's say I care about everybody I date. I care about my exes, even though they've done me wrong. But it's like I don't wish bad upon anybody that I've ever dealt with. I don't wish bad upon my worst enemy. I'm not a bad person, so I don't wish bad about anybody. I care about everybody, my friends, my exes, my family. I care about everybody. I don't wish bad on anybody. So to say I don't care about Chase would be wrong because I care about everybody. I care about everybody. Like I don't want anything bad to happen to him, but I wish him the best in life. But do I ever want to get back together with him? No, absolutely not. But
I'm a piece of shit.
no, I'm not saying you're a piece of shit. I'm just saying that things didn't work out with us, and
Well, insane. There's your answer.
I'm not saying that you're a piece of shit. I'm just saying that things didn't work out with us. Things went the wrong way, and I'm not interested in trying that again. Is what I'm saying. Is I'd rather just be friends. And you go about your life, and I go about my life. That's just
yeah, that's what I suspect. It was probably like a mutual kind of connection, like a mutual friendship kind of,
But
like
I was just saying, it's not about wanting to get back with her. That's not the thing. It's like even as a friend, it's like you're not really there.
Yeah, but you
don't seem to care.
That's what I'm saying is you weren't being there for me. The day my dad died, you totally rejected me. Let that chat keep going. That's why I felt like, okay, at that point, I was trying to reach out to you as a friend and say, listen, hey, Chase, I know we've had our beefs, but my dad.
But you're trying to reach out to me as a friend that day?
That day I reached out to you and said, listen, I know we've had, I said to you, my dad.
Before that, I was blocked, and you were talking about how I was going to stay blocked permanently.
Because I was getting.
You were talking shit.
I was getting mad about that because I told you.
But that was before that. That was way before that.
Just my name kept being constantly brought up.
Well, I brought you.
I think Chayton has a question as well.
I had to bring you up because of the whole Dark Horse shit. Go ahead, Chayton.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Okay. All right. This will be the final question because I gotta get going. But Chase, I've the times I've been on here in the last couple of months, so on and so forth. I've noticed that you've said I've seen you say multiple times that you want to move on from the drama. You want to move on for the drama. That's been going on for months, and we're back where we were. Now it's like I've always said, if it ain't.
Well, that's your shit. I've already moved on from that shit.
I'm not talking about me.
Yeah,
I'm talking about drama in general. Yeah. Because this is how it is. Once they're done with somebody, they move on to the next person. So my question to you is since you've said that in the past, but here we are still in this drama. Not stuff with me because it's done over with. But my question is, and be honest, is there a part of you inside that enjoys this?
Enjoys this?
The drama.
Depending on what it is.
Well, for
let's say watching certain people make idiots of themselves. In a way, yes. But when it's constantly the same old dumb shit, it gets tiring, and that's why I just say enough.
So basically, anyone but Chase's drama he doesn't really care for, but if it's someone else involving, then he'll tune in for it.
Well, it depends on the drama thing. That's the thing. If it's the same dumb shit, let's say about freaking Eric Melendez being a dumbass and showing lesbians or whatever the fuck.
But that's not even drama. That's just being stupid.
Or him going into people's personal lives or whatever the fuck, that type of shit.
I guess my point is that and I've been guilty of this too, and a lot of us have been guilty of this. We want to try to move on, build a better community. We try to do whatever, right? And something happens, someone does something, whatever, and we get real back into it. So, it's just the point that I've been hearing this for, and you're not the only one. I've heard other people say, I'm done with drama, I'm moving on, and then 5 seconds later, drama video. But my point is that I've just been, since I've been here, I've been seeing a pattern. I'm done with drama. Someone said something about me. I gotta make a response, and it's a never-ending cycle. And I've said this, and I used to tell this to Arthur before I just gave up giving him advice. The only way that this type of stuff ends is if one party ends it. And what I mean by that, ignore that person, because they'll do whatever they can to get a response out of you. Case in point, if
oh, that's for sure. Like I know with like the fucking asylum thing, they're gonna keep bringing this shit up. Their stream it said part 1, so it's obviously there's gonna be whatever how many parts.
And thanks to this stream, it's gonna be part 5, 6, 7, 8.
But the goal thing though, like for this stream, was to get everything out and just move on with it. I don't care if they want to keep running their mouths or whatever the fuck. But like I said, excuse me. But like I was. Because as soon as that fucking stream went up, my phone was blowing up like crazy. Like, what the fuck is going on? I got people asking me questions. Oh, did you really send explicit pictures to Danielle? I was like, no, what the fuck is this coming from? And I'm like, what the fuck? And I get sent the link to the fucking stream. It's like, what the fuck is this? I like thinking.
But what I was going to say, though, earlier, or when, and all that, is that you doing this, whether or not, like I said, I've been out of the loop, so I don't know every single thing that's going on because, again, this shit is pointless. But the fact is that, you know,
I think it just made a little spun out because yesterday when I did a stream, it was basically responding to. I offered Reek and Jay to talk to me one-on-one yesterday, but he never came on. I know he was watching, but he didn't want to come on and talk to me like a man.
Well, I was going to say at this point, and this is proven also on ZTB's side, is that they're not going to heed to whatever, whether it's a request, a demand, whatever. They're not going to heed to it. They're just going to do their stuff behind.
About Dark Horse, yeah, I never had a beef with Reek and J or any Remington. I have never had a beef with them. But for Dark Horse, I can speak on it. He hasn't come to my panel. I've done plenty of streams, 12 hours, 2 streams hasn't come in, so I can verify that part, like you're saying.
Like, and I can verify the fact
I'll give you an instance.
Guess what? It won't be at a good pretenses because I have actually got to talk with him, and you don't get shit from him except like him just straw man
response video, taking what you say out of context and then putting it out there. Yeah,
muting me like, oh, you're drunk right now. You can't. All types of irrelevant shit. Like even if
you're not really black, you're a white man in disguise. Transformers.
Like okay, I'll give an example for you, Chase. I got messages. I don't know if it was last week. Whenever he uploads some videos, but. I got messages saying, "Oh, did you check out this? Did you see what this, you know who Frieza said about you?" And
there's a difference between the two, though. There's a bit of a difference, though. A lot of people say shit, that's whatever. But like I said, this stream that happened today, Crystal was on the damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of these people that do these rant things, they obviously don't know me. Like she's been around me, she's met me in person.
Like, I was going to say, well, it's the fact that they're saying that. And they're saying, "Oh,
guys, I'm going to get going, but good luck on this."
If it was just like Rick and Jay saying whatever, I wouldn't give a shit.
Me too. I'm out.
Thanks for having me here.
I was going to say,
good luck.
I was going to say because the fact is that whether they get you and get someone involved or whatnot, like I said, like people make videos. I don't care anymore. I've gone on to do what I want to do and just enjoy myself and be an entertainer. Chase, I've heard you say in the past that you like to have fun in all this, and you want to do that.
Chill, have a fun time, hold your dick, that type of thing. Yep.
And like I said, this is like. With everything that's going on, you're responding to which you're falling for what they want because that's exactly what they want. They want you to respond. They want you to make videos so they can respond, so you can respond. It's never ending thing. Trust me, I've been there. I know I've even been on here that long to deal with all this shit like some people have. But
it got me heated earlier. It's like, what the fuck? I listened to this fucking chat. It's like, what the fuck? This shit ain't true. Like, what the fuck is this? It's like,
let me say this real quick because this actually is a good point. Okay, You said something earlier about people not knowing you in real life, right? So not like certain people not knowing you and who you are and blah blah. Okay. So so if you know that, if the people that you've met know that, if let's say people that you maybe know on YouTube that you talk to privately a lot more often than others, then why would it bother you if some Johnny come latelys even have an opinion on you when they don't know you personally?
Well, I just told you the thing was the stream had Crystal on there. She
But
knows
how many people
they don't.
How many people that you know, like that know you personally, know about the whole YouTube stuff with Crystal?
Quite a
With
few
that, I'm
people.
not saying that you tell them. I'm talking about like anybody that actually searches and stuff.
Other people. Oh, Dark Horse was one of the first to try to look up a bunch of shit.
Okay, but what he's trying to say is how many people know us personally. Have you met Dark Horse in person?
No, if I did, I'd probably kill the motherfucker.
Have I met Dark Horse in person? No. He's talking about how many people actually know us.
How many people know you up front? There's quite a few people that met you in person.
Yeah, met me, but half of these people on your streams that are passing judgment or just trying to trigger you on certain topics don't even know you. And
but like, do you think it was a good idea? You going on Reek and Jay's and doing all that shit?
I felt like that's something I needed to do, just like you feel like you needed to do this stream in response to that stream, and felt like you needed to do other streams in the past in regards to response.
Me doing a stream responding to Reek and Jay, what did it have to do with you?
Because part of it was the other chat you mentioned my name about me not defending you and stuff. So since you brought up my name, I felt like I wanted to get in there and say something myself. You've had so many streams involving me in the past, so I'm like, okay, what's it gonna hurt for me to do one on my own? Like, it's not gonna hurt. And I honestly, if anybody in this chat wants to go listen to that stream, I didn't say one bad thing about Chase, not one. I actually admitted that me and him were talking as friends, and that I just want all this drama to end. Like, that's all this.
No, but he was just saying a lot of dumb shit from what I listened to.
Okay, but what he says and what I said were two totally different things. You need to go off of what I said. If you're worried about my end of the stream or you're worried about it because of me, listen to the words that were coming out of my mouth.
It seemed more like the dude was just using you for this shit for his own gain. And I see the title of the stream, like I said, expose or whatever the fuck, something Chase, and it's part one, people. It's part one. Get ready for part two tomorrow.
I have a question for Crystal.
Yeah, shoot.
How long have you known Chase?
Well, since we did probably like a year before we dated, we were talking online.
No.
How long was it then?
2017.
It wasn't. I don't think it was that long.
Yes, it was.
Well, we were talking every day. That's all I know.
Okay, so I'll go with 27 just for whether, because I'm hearing two different things. Okay,
and she hit me up first. I didn't know who she was. I never hit her up or anything.
Yeah,
well, I'm not asking who talked.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like, that's how we met. That's how we met.
The thing is,
I'm just asking when, like, how long.
Okay.
So, go ahead, Crystal. My apologies.
The thing, if we were talking online, it wasn't anything like relationship wise. At least, because I was dating other people at that time, so it wasn't about me hitting you up because I wanted to be in a relationship.
No. When we met, you hit me up. It was for other stuff. It had nothing to do with relationships or any of that shit. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's been. Let's see. It's been either 5 years or almost 5 years, right? Okay, so when did you two stop dating?
We stopped dating right during the COVID thing.
So around 2020.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So it's been almost or about 2 years since you two have split up and all that, and the still stuff's going on for 2 years. On and off, I'm assuming, because again, there have been times where I've been on Chase's stream, so he's been on mine. I didn't even know about this whole situation. I barely even know about Sean's views, so I don't even know really that much about that either.
Sean's irrelevant. He's trash.
We actually split before COVID. I know that for a fact because I was going to see Rem during the whole COVID thing. So we split before COVID started.
So possibly early 2020, 2019.
We pretty much split during the COVID thing.
Well, no.
At the beginning of it.
I wasn't with you at all when I went to go see Rem. And
you weren't with me when you went to see Rem, but I'm just saying we split during the beginning of COVID.
All my visits to Rem were during the beginning of COVID. So that was, I'm saying,
Wait, they were before COVID?
I went out all my visits with Rem. My first visit with him was before COVID started, and then after all the other.
No, unless you didn't, then you probably didn't tell me about that one.
You knew when I drove down there the
Because
first.
during the COVID thing, when it was starting to go around, there was plans for me to come down there. I even paid for my ticket and all everything, and I've had to cancel my flight twice. You wanted me to cancel because of COVID.
Well, at that time, I think you said you were coming to see family. You weren't
No,
coming.
I was coming to see you and family, both.
You made a stream saying you were coming down here to see family, not me. That was on the live.
Probably at that time, I didn't want anybody to know because I didn't want people to keep making streams and talking shit. I was trying to fix things with you privately.
All right, we'll go back to what was his question now? Keep going back. That was so long ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say I actually have shit, I lost my train of thought. Fuck. Okay, all right, now I got it. All right. We've been going, like, this stream has been going on for about 2 hours.
I think there was some of the main stuff that really upsets me. It's not about the whole relationship, or you can say it's my fault or whatever the fuck. That it's certain things that just still affect me, even if as a friend, like to Crystal. I mean, it's like you still you don't really seem to be much of a friend. Like there's past stuff like you say you're gonna come visit the San Antonio, but you're more interested in visiting this person or this person and not me. It's like, what the fuck is that shit? You wanted to visit that one deluded fucker Polston. And it's like, what the fuck?
Well, to be fair, I believe you said something about going to North Carolina. Crystal, you said you're in the Massachusetts area. Is that correct?
Yeah, I live in Massachusetts.
Well, I was going to say, I'm sure a trip to Texas, especially since she said she has kids and all that, would be a little more rigorous due to
here's the thing, though. I mean, that's the thing. I was like, she said she's going to come, but she's more concerned about visiting this person or this person and not even me, even though I'm pretty much in that area. And you want to visit another guy that's probably like 3 or 4 hours away from San Antonio.
The whole thing with Polson is me and him have like military background together.
But he's a deluded imbecile.
That's your opinion. I've never had that.
Everybody knows he is. The guy just wanted to play you. He even admitted it.
I've never had any problem with him. We haven't talked recently, but when I was talking to him, we never had any problem. We always got along.
I guess I have another question. I was saying earlier about this being about 2 hours, and so and I hear both of you say you have to get up early. So what is the end goal for this stream? What is the goal to accomplish here?
From my perspective, is what I told him weeks ago after my dad passed away, is that I just want all the drama to be done. If somebody outside of myself decides to bring up old drama and old streams, that has nothing to do with me. I didn't give them permission. I don't want my name to be brought up. I just want that if somebody say Dark Horse brings up another stream and it has involved me,
he's gonna do it. He always does.
If he does, you take that up with Dark Horse. Don't take it up with me.
I don't want to talk to that fucker.
I don't care. Don't bring me.
I'm not looking up his shit. I'm not fucking messaging his ex like he does.
The way I look at
it. I was gonna say, basically what she's saying is if him or somebody else makes a video, that's on them, not her, and vice versa. For instance, if I don't know.
That's one thing, but I say if I'm gonna really fix things with her and just even be her friend, it's just gonna be hard to do it knowing that she's friends with people like him.
Okay, well I'll give you an example. You like Chase, you and me are not on the we're not cool, we're not on good terms or anything.
We used to be cool.
We're cordial with each other. But what I'm saying though is that, and I saw him in the chat earlier, shout out to Len's Kitchen, like Len's a good friend of mine. Personally, I don't have an issue. Like even when we used to have major beef, now we're just cordial. I didn't have an issue with him being friends with.
No, aren't you guys friends? You guys done videos where you guys are hanging out eating chips or whatever?
Huh?
You guys do streams together where you guys are hanging out in an apartment?
I think it was the Thursday after my birthday. But I'm saying I've met him in person. We've had talks and all that stuff. I'm just saying that I don't tell him, oh yeah, you can't be, because what he wants to do is his own business, and what I want to do is my own business. That's how we are. But whatever, for instance, I'm using that as an example.
There's a difference though.
What do you explain?
Like for example, I mean, Lennon's a good guy and all that shit. Like there's no I don't think I don't know how well he knows you or whatnot. And I know he's not associating with people like Dark Horse and all that who will try to manipulate people and try to get as much information as he can for whatever reason, or have it for like in the future.
Lennon and I have known each other since 2018.
I've never met Lennon, but I plan to meet him on May 15th.
Oh, the RCW show?
Yes.
Oh shit! Yeah, I'm trying to go there myself. I'm just waiting till I get paid so I can see what tickets are left, because I've already told him I'm going to try to go.
I've already told him I was going. I already bought my tickets and everything. He's been wanting to hang out and things, but like my schedule's been whack. So.
Yeah, I could feel you on that. But what I was saying though was that who Crystal decides to hang out with or be friends with, that is her choice. Just like it's your choice not to be friends with her. However, this back and forth, it's not going to solve anything. So what is the end game with all this?
Like I have things with Crystal.
It's not really with her. Let me finish real quick. Your issue is not with her per se. It's more so with those people. From what I've gathered through this stream. Again, I'm not in the loop of what's going on outside of this.
Mm-hmm. I had to pop a painkiller. Damn headache. Yeah, I mean, I talked with her privately behind the scenes, and I have no idea. But as of lately, like I said, my response was to Regan J. I offered him to come on my thing and talk to him one-on-one, but he chose not to do it because he's got no balls, whatever the fuck. So, and then when it came to Rem, I was responding to some shit he said in my chat because I don't know why he brought that up, because it made no sense because the stream wasn't even about that. I haven't even been talking about it as of late. So he made that decision to, go in the chat and talk shit.
Okay, but at the end of the day, like, knowing that these guys will not show up on your streams, knowing that
they won't show up on anybody's, that's been proven fact.
Well, I'm pointing this from here. I don't care what's going on the outside. I'm just pointing it from what's going on right here, right now. Okay,
cool.
So you know this, and if he's doing that to troll you, whatever. I don't know what's going on with that. In the past, I could never see Rem's posts even when we were cool because some with the Facebook chat thing. I don't know. I never blocked him back then, but so even if they'll say I saw the stream, I don't think I would have seen his comment to clarify or anything. However, again, you saw that, so you said you talked shit about him in that stream.
I gave a response and things like that. So yeah. Well, yeah, I took a few shots at him. Yeah, damn right I did.
Okay, so
he doesn't like it, kiss my ass.
Well, my question to that is, what did you gain from doing that?
Pretty much just to show the point of like how dumb that motherfucker is.
I don't think you talking about people's looks is proving how dumb people are.
I tell you more about his physique.
What's wrong?
Well, okay, Crystal. So he said something about the physique. Did he say anything else?
I didn't talk about his facial looks or any of that shit.
Yeah, I heard they were talking about like what he looked like when he was younger and things like that.
Well, when he was younger, what are you talking about?
I don't know. I heard that you were making different comments about different things about how he looks.
I was just talking about his physique. That's all I said. I didn't talk about how he looked when he was a teenager or any of that shit. I don't even know how he looked as a teenager.
There's nothing wrong with his physique. I don't know. I think a lot of people are
jealous. Well, I mean, I look at the thing. He's quite blotchy, bloated.
Oh, he's not.
Okay, so my question is, what
I've seen the video. I've seen what I needed to see.
And I've seen.
Okay, so my question.
Good for you. Good for you.
I've seen what he looks like, and what my opinion of it doesn't matter because one, I'm not the most.
I was basically bringing that up because the whole fucking steroid accusation. It's like, dude, whether he does or he doesn't, it's like whatever. It's like you really want to look like that. It's like.
Let me clarify that he doesn't. Everything he looks like, all the muscles he has, is all hard work. He's at the gym every day, sometimes twice a day. That man works his ass off at the gym. I can tell you. I've gone to the gym with him. I've seen it.
Okay, so I guess another question I have to that is, okay, so what, like, why go at, like, if you, like, you, from what Chris was
I
saying,
felt
you,
like having a little bit of fun with the shit because the guy wanted to bring the shit up, so I was like, what the fuck? I do a stream, I say whatever I want to say.
okay, but then
That's all there is to it.
when someone makes a stream about, like, what's what you said about Rick and Jay making the interview with you, which because Rem, and from what Crystal said, she was brought up as well. Then you decide to make
When
this
it came
stream.
to Crystal, though, I explained like why I have an issue with Remington, why I choose not to speak to him.
But let me say this though, hasn't that been addressed like 6 months ago, back with the whole?
Yeah, it was already talked about. Yeah, but for some reason, like
Yeah.
I said, Remington wanted to bring the shit up and run his mouth in the damn chat.
So my question though is why does it have to be addressed again when it has already been addressed? If it's the same rinse and repeat.
That's what I'm wondering. So that's
No,
why I
I'm
said, like, you know, like I've already explained it before. I even said it yesterday. So you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna talk shit a little bit. What the hell? Because the guy wants to keep talking.
No,
Fuck
it's not. It's not really that. It's the reason why I'm bringing this up is because if I'm remembering correctly, you've already addressed this months ago, and now you've had to readdress it again when it's already been addressed. It's like I'm saying, it's rinse and repeat, like because again, as I said earlier,
it's like why is it still being brought up?
And actually, that is a good point because what I was about to say was that same thing I've told Arthur in the past.
Because one thing, like I said, at the beginning of the year,
ahead.
Dark Horse uploaded old videos bringing this shit all over again. He tried to make it to his agenda, claiming apparently I was stalking Crystal and Daniela, which was not true. That never happened. That was a lie. And then with the whole thing, when I did a fucking stream with, I went on, I think it was ITB stream, and like Will was on there, and me and him were just talking or whatever. Like it's the same thing between you and me. Like we're not friends. We don't talk behind the fucking scenes. But that fucking Rick and Jay made a video apparently claiming that I made peace with Will and all this shit. Like, what the fuck is this?
Okay, actually, that's a good point. Okay, all right. So,
like, he didn't ask me. He even bothered to ask me shit. Like, what do you mean we made peace? Just because we're on the same fucking panel? Like, what the fuck?
Well, let me address that actually, because that's a good point. Okay, like you said, you've had to make streams explaining that you are not cool with this person, that person. But let me say this. The same thing was said about like with me and regarding if we were cool and all that stuff. I didn't make a stream and I didn't really address it because I think the only time I ever addressed it was because you asked me on, I think it was Monday stream or something. But the reason why I never addressed it because one, I know we're not cool or we're not friends or we don't talk behind the scenes. Two, is that I don't care. Like, I don't care if they think that because at the end of the day, you and I know we're not.
I know, but the thing was, it just didn't make sense for Rick and Jay to get involved in that shit and then bring up my name. He made it. My name wasn't in the title, thankfully, but still, it's like he's still bringing me, adding me into the fucking equation of over whatever drama shit that him and Will have.
But again,
try to make it sound like me and Will are fucking friends.
Well, again, though. It's to get a rise out of you, which clearly it worked. Because again, here we are. It's 2.5 hours, and we've not come to a.
I already made like a response video to Rick and Jay about the shit, like trying to tell him, explain. Like he could have messaged me, but he didn't. Tell him like just because someone I'm like same thing is here between me and you. Like just because we're talking, it doesn't mean like we made peace or we're friends or any of that shit. Like it just didn't make sense for him to do that shit.
But again, like I said,
that's why I offered to have a one-on-one talk with him live, and I was right there. Mm-hmm. And I could have put Double Z in the back. He could have came on, but he never did. He just watched it, and that was it. Instead, he decided to make this fucking stream he did today, and with fucking Crystal, and then now I have my phone blowing up.
Well, my counter argument to that, and I was saying this earlier about what I told Arthur in the past. Now I don't talk to him anymore, so but I'm using it as an example. Is that the only way that this type of shit is going to end is if one party just ignores and just doesn't listen to the bullshit. because this is honestly, and it's been said about stuff with me in the past, this is some high school petty bullshit drama. It's not helping anybody. It's just like all it's doing is creating more content for other people and having the people who have no lives, honestly.
When it comes to past shit, like all of us have made mistakes and fucked up. But the thing is, when people,
I can agree with that.
We have been baited into the trap, being like feeling like we have to respond when it comes to people like whether it be Rick and Jay or Dark Horse or whoever that still likes to bring up this shit. You know, they do this shit. They do it all the time. Even Rick and Jay's got a fucking Bringer of Fat Fucks account. For God fucking sakes.
Okay, what does that have to do with this whole thing?
I'm saying, like, you know, a lot of us still like feel like we, in our minds, we still feel like we have to clarify something. When somebody makes something, we feel it's like we have to. And people, like, you know, say, bring up the video and they send it to you. It's like, what the fuck? And got this thing to her. I've developed this.
I'm about to start snoring in a minute. I'm fucking tired. I'm sorry. I gotta go.
Okay, well, we'll end it with this.
I'm done.
Done. For you and me, Crystal, what do you want to do?
We can be friends, but if my name gets brought up in any of your streams again, or somebody says something about me in your chat and you don't immediately cut them off, then it's not going to work out as friends, because going forward, past has to be in the past. No dwelling on what happened or bringing shit from the past up. Moving forward, it's future things, talking about what you're doing with your future jobs, goals. If you're dating somebody, whatever you want to disclose to me about your future, fine. But I don't want to discuss anything that happened in the past. I don't want to rehash anything in the past. And I expect from here on in, if somebody says something about me that's not true, you will say, hey, shut the fuck up. And if somebody says something about you, and I think, okay, it's not true or whatever, I'll say, okay. And if people are allowed, what I'm saying is people are allowed to have their own opinions about me. People are allowed to have their own opinions about you. I can't stop everybody in the world from talking about you. But if I'm involved in a stream and somebody's talking about you, saying something I know is not true, I'll say, hey, that's not true. You know, let's just move on to the next topic or something, you know?
It just never made you look good when people would lie and you wouldn't say a word.
No, it's not. I'm
talking knowing that they were lying.
But that's in the past. See, again, you're going back to.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why a lot of this shit happened.
But a lot of stuff, you know, a lot of
I was
stuff.
gonna say, can we get to
let's get to the point.
The whole point is,
if you want to be my friend, that's completely up to you.
Well, it's also up to you, because you're the one that likes to bring shit up and talk about things that happened in the past. So if you're willing to,
you associate with people that do that a lot.
Stop associating with people just because you don't like them. So if that's something you can't accept, then
I'm saying you associate with people that like to bring up past shit, like to get involved in shit.
Okay, but if they bring
that's on them, though. I'm just gonna say that's on them.
That's not on me. You don't.
It's like if I talk to you about stuff, how do I know? Like, it will be between me and you.
You don't like Sean. You don't like Rem. You don't like Jay. You don't like any of them. But you know what? They're my friends. But if you don't like the fact that they're my friends, then I don't
care if you're friends with them or not. But the point is, like, you know, if I would be cool with you and stuff, like, how do I know you're not going to, like, blur out even personal stuff of my own because you've done it before? How do I know you're not going to do it again?
Well, that's the thing. You have to trust me. I have to trust you in regards to that. I have no reason to talk bad about you or spread anything about you unless you're doing the same to me.
Like, to be fair, I haven't, like, again, even back last year when... Like, you were on my panels, Chaser, I was on your panels. I didn't even know who Crystal was. I didn't even see a Crystal in the chat, really. So like, this is only, to me personally, this is being brought up due to a lot of stuff going on both parties. I'm not referring to Chris, I'm just talking about the other people that are doing this. Whether it was the whole thing from, the fall of last year, so on and so forth. So... It's like this is a new thing, and as I said earlier, the only way to
fix things, like I said, I don't give a fuck about fixing things with the Rick and fuck or whatever. I'm not telling when it comes to between me and Crystal, I mean, like I said,
I'm not telling you to fix
things. It's up to her what she wants to do, and same thing with me.
I'm not telling you to fix things or kiss and make up with these people.
No. We'll probably cuss each other out and whatever afterwards. I don't know. But the thing was, like I said, whatever happens after this, I mean, like I said, I know that certain people are going to make videos or whatever, and I'll pretty much, I can ignore it. I really can.
I was like,
But like I said, the point of this stream was to get everything out of shit that was been bothering me for quite a while. It has bothered me. And it's like not being able to actually be civil and try to talk to Crystal or even feel like I could trust her. You know, seeing who she associates with, knowing that those guys like to blur out even personal shit. That's tough.
Well, you choose what. That's the thing is if we're talking on a civil thing and you're still worried about people I talk to, you can choose what to tell me and what not to tell me. You don't have to disclose anything to me that you don't want to tell me.
that is true.
It's as simple as that. You choose.
I remember, like, even like in the before, like when I try to tell you personal stuff that's very personal to me, you would blur it out like common gossip.
Chase,
it's like, what the fuck? Even my near death accident as a kid.
Okay, we're revolving back around to the
the word.
You know,
the word you just said, Chase. Let me not start calling you by your real name, but
everyone knows my real name. I just go by Chase. It's easier to pronounce. I've already said this a bunch of fucking times.
The word you just said when you said, well, like before. Nah, before. Stop it with the before. There's moving forward. There is no before. Before is dead and gone.
Okay, I'm
gonna give you. How about this? Is a simple question, real simple. Like, let's say if someone like Dark Horse or whoever's like asks you a personal question about me or whatever, like, what are you gonna tell them?
I say I talked to him privately. If you'd like to know something about him, then maybe you should go to him and ask him.
I would just say responsibly, ain't none of your fucking business. Don't jump off a cliff now. But okay.
No, that's how you respond to people. I'm a little bit more nicer.
I'm joking.
Okay.
If Dark Horse asks me, I'm going to tell him to go fuck himself. So,
I was going to say this because, when Crystal was referring to the past, okay, when I'm all the bullshit that's gone on, I've moved on. The people that even some of the people that have been on this channel do not exist, are not in my thought process. If they make a video, okay, who fucking cares? If they bring up somebody from a past saying, okay, who fucking cares? Because at the end of the day, I know who I am. People who know me personally in real life know me. Anybody who has their opinions on me, who never met me, who don't talk to me privately, either daily or weekly or whatever, I don't give a fuck about the people who don't take the time to try to get to know me, to know the person who is, and just focuses on the internet shit. If they believe everything that's on the internet, I don't want to have anything to do with them because they don't matter to me. So I've done that. And so it doesn't matter to me. So I guess my final question, because at this point I don't know what else to say, but I guess my advice it's more of advice from this and a question. So Chase, do you? And I'm not talking about making up. I'm not talking about being friends with these people or being cordial or whatever the fuck. But do you want to move on from these people?
Oh, that's what I'm doing. I already got plans for certain stuff. I've even talked about this.
Well, I was gonna say, Chase, I've been watching.
This is the only time I could probably get everything all out before I make the change.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was trying to get everything out that way. I have to talk about it no more in the future.
So you're saying
I'm changing my channel to where I can be able to make it to where everybody can watch stuff. Where I could, I don't have to feel hesitant to share it on my personal Facebook and things like that.
Mm-hmm. So actually, I have a question. Actually, it's a good counter question. Okay, so you do all these changes, right? Okay, so let's say somebody brings another ex-girlfriend. Not saying they are, but just hypothetically speaking, brings another ex-girlfriend in to give dirty laundry. Do you have enough willpower inside to not respond to it?
Well, when it comes to any of my ex-girlfriends, I've had some really crazy. I've had some crazy like I said, I don't really have anything to where it's like I never like put my hands on any girl I was with or any of that crazy shit. Have I been?
But I'm saying, if let's say she says
Well,
something
I don't see myself responding to any shit. Like, let's say if Dark Horse like tries to interview one of my exes, and he did try to do that. He tried to interview my ex. He wanted her Facebook so he could message her. I was like, what the fuck? Trying to get involved in that shit. But it really doesn't matter. Like,
okay, so your answer is, once this change happens, you will not respond. Is that correct?
They wouldn't see the point, no.
And I guess the final thing, any
of my exes, I'm pretty much cool with, or most of them. The one before Crystal, I don't really talk to her that much.
I know, I'm using it as a hypothetical term again, it does like whatever goes on in your personal life is not my business. I'm using this hypothetical term. Okay, so I guess my follow-up question is that, since you've been saying this for the last however many months, do you are you going to fully commit on moving on and all that stuff? Like, move on, because like I said, you said you wanted to move on. You said you're not going to stream on here. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do that. But
I'll still put recorded streams I do on Twitch on here. So I've said that before.
Okay. Well, we're live right now, but I'm using that as an example. But so, are you fully committed to completely reinventing yourself, rebranding, and trying to be a more entertaining channel? Because honestly, we need more of those than we do these, because there's drama videos or drama channels are a dime a dozen in this community. I'm just being perfectly honest.
Oh, for sure. I know in the process of doing it, I'm gonna have to cut out a lot of people.
Yeah, because that's something that I feel like some people can't do, because I sometimes call some people enablers. There are people who, they may be your friends.
I know who they are. Even the people that send me links to videos of shit, like, I know what their intentions are. I know some people are going to get mad if they see that they get blocked by me. If they make a video, I don't give a shit.
Because remember last year, and I'm only bringing this up for context.
Go ahead.
And I didn't know at the beginning it was a video. It was that person wasn't in the video. But remember when you sent me a link to some stream, and I clicked on it and I saw that a certain someone was in there, right? So then I blocked you, because I made basically a rule afterwards that if anybody did that, they'd be blocked, because I don't, I'm not focused. I'm not worried about that shit.
I know I made a video responding to that because you misread what I said or something. I have to go back.
Yeah, that was like, I didn't know at the beginning. That was my fault. I will admit to that. But when I clicked it, I guess I clicked it when that person was in there. So I was like, okay, why?
There was certain shit between you and that person that I wasn't even aware of. So I know you guys were talking to each other behind the scenes and whatever the fuck. And he was asking you questions.
I'm not about that, because that person is irrelevant to this conversation. I was talking about the Frieza. I'll just use that term.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking. Oh, okay, never mind. I thought you were talking about the other person, but never mind. Okay.
No, that was way before I even knew who she was.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, I blocked you because of that. And again, it was misunderstood. But again, that was because if I didn't do that, if I did that to somebody else, because I did it to a lot of people around that time, because if they sent me stuff that I didn't really want to be involved in or don't care about, I would usually do that. Then it got to the point where even if they send me stuff, I really don't I don't even care enough to where it bothers me to where I need to do anything. So I'm not even going to block somebody. If they keep sending shit, then maybe it'll be an issue if that's all they do. If we can have a conversation about something, whether it's interest or whatever, and then they send it every so often. Still, I don't care about what they send, but again, at least I can have those conversations. But other than that, that's really it. But final thing I'll just say is that my question is, after tonight, are you planning on moving away from this shit no matter what they do? Because you said that the person who did part one has other parts he's doing. So is your plan right now to move past this, move on, not respond, not go on any streams to respond, do anything, just go and do what you want to do? Because again, the more you keep doing this, the more the
Well, let me
illusion.
say this. Like I said, if Crystal wasn't in that stream, I wouldn't have given a shit. I think a lot of people wouldn't care either. But because
even if
Crystal was in it, that's why my phone kept blowing up.
I know you two have a history, but again, why? Did you? Okay, actually, I have
I'm just saying, if Crystal wasn't in the stream, I wouldn't be making the stream now.
Okay,
whatever Rick and Jay said, I wouldn't have given a shit because he had a chance to talk to me. He pussied out.
Okay, so I have another question then. Okay, so was there a way to contact Crystal privately before you decided to go live?
On this? Yeah.
He did.
Oh, and you two had to talk beforehand?
No, he just said that he's making a video, and that was it.
So he did try to call you and try to have a discussion before anything.
No, there was no discussion. There was no discussion. He just got mad that I was on a video, and he decided he wanted to speak his piece. He didn't even talk to me about it.
Like I said, I listened to that freaking stream, and like, what the fuck is this?
But you
shit?
got mad. The things you got mad about the stream had nothing to do with what I said, because everything I said wasn't even bad. You got mad about the whole Daniela stuff and stuff that Jay was saying. That had nothing to do with me. My portion of the stream was nothing bad about you.
Okay, I'm about to leave because it's almost 1:30 here. But I'm going to say this because this is
Shit.
Yeah, it's 1:30.
I'm like probably 2 or 3 hours.
Listen, it's 2:30 where I am, and I have to be up at like 6:30.
But I guess my final advice to you, Chase, is that because you know these people aren't going to stop, so it's more up to you to not let this get to you. So what I would do if this was happening before you decide to go live or whatever, if you could talk to the person, whether it's Chris or whoever.
I've had a thing to where like I feel like I have to go live at times when somebody makes a live thing, and when people ask me questions, like I'm tired of answering the same questions over and over again, so I end up having to make a stream to clarify it.
Let me ask you though: is this high school?
Oh, not anymore.
Well, that's what my thing was. I said to him so many times, and he says yes.
A lot of these people in here, a lot of the trolls are like high school people. You got your freaking heroes and all these other weirdo losers.
Well, that's the thing is, Chase. I used to say this to you all the time when you said you had to clarify things and people needed to know. I'm like, who are these people like that need to know?
But like Crystal, we could have talked, just you and me, even behind the scenes. I've even told you, call me whenever you want.
Yeah, but you still make.
But you didn't talk to her before you went live.
Well, she went on live before I did.
But again, you didn't have a private conversation after the fact to maybe see what the common ground is. So then when you come in here,
if it was just like I said, with the Rick and Jay thing, with stuff that was being brought, that was being said, with false claims, that stuff I had to clarify. I couldn't just talk. I'm not saying you started the shit. I'm just saying certain stuff that was said in that thing, I had to end up going online and clearing about. Claiming that I sent explicit pictures, that never happened, and all this other shit, that's not true.
Yeah, but you said the only reason you were doing this video is because I was on that video, but everything that triggered you on that video had nothing to do with me. So it's kind of like...
Yeah.
So you said it was because of me, but really nothing I said was bad. It was something that Jay said that triggered you. So you turned around and made the video, but you said it was only because of me. So what is it?
Well, I didn't say it was all because of you.
You just said the whole reason you made this video tonight was because I went on that stream with Jay. But everything that triggered you on that stream was something that he said. So what am I even here for? Like, I don't even...
But also just you being part of that shit. It's just bringing you back into the
I wasn't part of anything that he said about Danielle. If you
guys, It's A Gaming wants me to read this last comment. It's A Gaming said, Chase, best advice I can give you is rub one out. It's the champagne of victory.
Wait, I'm gonna tell you what. To Crystal, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna try to say this not in the Chase persona, but as Ulysses the human being. If you want to talk to me, you can talk to me. You got my social media. And if we talk, I don't mind keeping things between me and you and letting past shit go.
Mm-hmm. And as long as you stick to that, then that's perfectly fine.
And I will just say this. If people bring up past shit or whatever, I don't care. If Freaking Jay or Dark Horse want to make their little fucking videos, I don't care. I don't give a fuck about Dark Horse or whatever. It's like it's not my fault.
Okay, we already know that. We all know that.
I don't care about them. I'm just saying. If I find out that if we do talk in the future, if I find out you're telling them personal stuff about me or they're breaking videos about it, then I'll probably will make a video like what the fuck. But other than that, I don't see myself. Anything else? You and I can talk behind the scenes.
Wait. I just like wait. Okay, so you said if you find out anything later
let's say if I'm talking to Crystal privately, whatever, and let's say she tells something that's like personal or something that doesn't need to be public or whatever, and she tells like Dark Horse or whatever, and they talk about it on their fucking stream, like that's gonna be like, what the fuck, Crystal?
But didn't you say earlier, like not that long ago, that after you do this whole brand rebranding, that you're not going to do responses?
Well,
or
it's not going to be towards like a video response. It must be me going at her. I'll confront her even behind the scenes.
Oh, talking to her because you said make a video. That's what caught me off guard.
And what I said,
did I say that? Make a video? Fuck.
Yeah, like.
That's what I'm gonna tell you, like, you know, like Crystal, what the fuck, like, you know.
And what I said to you earlier, Chase, and I can say this again, is that I said you could talk to me as a friend or whatever you want to call it, but you choose to tell me what you want to tell me. If you don't trust people that I'm friends with, and you don't trust me, and you think I'm gonna go back and say,
I don't trust them.
Okay, but I'm
giving you a chance. I'm just talking to you. I'm not talking to them. I don't give a fuck about them.
But you don't have to tell me anything personal. You could talk about random life shit. You don't have to talk to me. You don't have to tell me any of your personal business. I'm not your counselor or whatever. You don't have to just anything.
Like, how's your day? How was work? Like something like that. Not like, where you work at or what.
Well, even so.
Like that type of shit.
Yeah, I'm saying you don't.
Like I said, if it ever even came down to that, you know what I mean?
If it's something you don't want.
All right, let's say like if I get sick again or whatever, if I got to go to another surgery, like there's certain things I don't want people to know.
Well, you said about certain people didn't want to know. Didn't you make a stream about you going to have some type of surgery?
Like something that I don't want people to know. Something that I don't want them to know.
Oh, okay.
That I made public, yes.
Well, there's a lot of things, like, I mean, personal things that people don't want people to know, and that just came out. So
I just don't want my personal shit. Like, if I'm not talking about it publicly, and if I tell it to you and not publicly, it's like...
Well, believe me, I have so many things that go on
like,
in my daily
They have
life.
no reason to ask you about me. Because I'm not friends with them. I'm not asking about them. I don't care about them. I'm not asking you about Rem or Sean or whoever. I don't care.
That's another thing.
Chase, I'm gonna bounce, but I was gonna say earlier before I go, if any of this happens again, my best advice to you, Chase, is before you do anything, whether it's make a video or whatever, count to 10, breathe, and then go from there.
I went to San Antonio High School. They didn't teach me how to count.
Huh?
I went to San Antonio High School. They didn't teach me to count.
Not even to 10? Well,
that's
the education system for you. Yeah. But just count to whatever number, breathe, and then hopefully after that you can have a more rational decision than the decision you may have had beforehand.
No,
so that's my advice.
It's just things are going to take time, and I'm just focusing on my thing. As far as between me and Crystal, like this, like there's certain things that I could ask her right now, but I'll talk to her about those off air. So,
yeah,
or maybe I'll talk to her about it. I don't know. Whatever happens after tonight, I don't know. It's her decision on what she wants to do.
I can't do any talking right now because if I don't get at least 4 hours of sleep, I'm going to be a bitch tomorrow at work to everybody, and I don't want to do that.
Oh, I've been there.
I'm going to go ahead and end the stream, and whatever happens after tonight happens. If she blocks me, then she blocks me, then, or if she hits me up, then she hits me up. It's whatever.
And there we go.
There's certain things I didn't get to say, but it is what it is. And we'll talk about
hopefully this will be a new leaf turned.
It'll be on my end, but I know with other people it won't.
Well, as I said earlier, it doesn't matter what they do. Like at the end of the day, it doesn't
that's why
matter.
I'm not even going to respond to it. So at the end of the day, it's mostly just them pussies behind a keyboard.
Again, it doesn't matter what they do or don't do. Matter what you do.
Oh yeah.
So.
All right, I'm getting off here. I gotta go.
I'm ending the stream with just a small clip, and that's about it.
All right, have a good night.
So. Anyway, I'm out too. I think I've said everything I need to say a little longer than I was planning, but anyway, thank you for letting me on, and hope everything goes well. But until then, take care.
So anyway, people, before I end the stream with a small video, just for a little bit of entertainment, see if I'll be able to sleep. I literally got to get up in like 3 hours. So you guys already know about me getting up at 5 every morning. Or I probably won't sleep at all. I don't know. Just a lot of fucked up shit, and when people troll and make videos, past few years, it's like I've had that mindset where it's like I have to respond and clarify it's not true. It's a lot of crazy shit. But now it's like people can say whatever they want. Don't fucking care. So, anyways, time to get some sleep. Christ. There you guys go. Kaboom.
Giggity. Giggity. Lois, oh my gosh, hi!
Oh, hi, Quagmire. What a surprise.
I know, right? Gosh, I was just picking up a couple of hams to take down to the shelter, and here I run into you buying food to make dinner for your husband.
No, actually, Glenn, maybe you haven't heard, but Peter and I aren't together anymore.
What? Why?
Oh, it's a long story. You don't want to hear about it.
Oh, shut your face. I want to hear all about it. But listen, I got all this shopping to do, so you want to stop by tomorrow night? I'll just whip something up.
Well, sure. That sounds nice, Glenn.
Holy smokes, this is a sure thing. Like the end of a Mexican wedding.
That was a delicious dinner, Glenn. I didn't know you could cook.
Well, when a fella's been alone as long as I have, he learns to take care of himself.
Well, you're a very sweet friend, and you're so good to listen to my troubles.
Oh, I could listen for hours, Lois. Whew, boy, I don't know how a half a glass of wine got me so lightheaded. I better lie down.
You want me to help you upstairs?
Oh my God, you are a saint! I think I can make it from here. Whoa! Whoops! Professor Klutz, the doctor is in. Oh, where's this heading?
Oh, hiya, Brian. All right, Peter, now I know your head is still a blank slate, but you gotta listen to me when I say... Wait, did you just call me Brian?
Oh, yeah.
You've got your memory back?
Uh-huh. Happened yesterday on my way back from the grocery store.
Hi, Peter. Hey, you just snubbed me in front of my own house. I thought we'd come to an understanding.
Look, fella, I don't know who you are, and I don't want to, so why don't you just go back to your crabgrass?
This happens to be fresh marathon sod.
Oh, man, I just got my memory back. And as I recall, I don't really care for you. Wait a minute, who are you? Hey, I know you. What's your beef, stranger? Well, if it isn't my old nemesis. Was just lucky he had an odd number of objects.
Why the hell didn't you tell anybody?
Well, I figured I could enjoy the bachelor life for a few more days before getting Lois back.
Well, you may have waited too long already. Lois is on a date with Quagmire, and you've got to stop her before something happens.
What? Oh, my God, where is she?
She's next door at his house. And you better get there quick, because with Quagmire, sex is inevitable. Like a fat guy ordering dessert when everyone else wants to leave.
So, does anyone want dessert?
I couldn't eat another bite.
No, I gotta get home for the sitter.
I'll have the souffle.
That takes 45 minutes.
That's okay.
I can't believe we're doing this, but I gotta say, it feels kind of right.
I know, it's so weird, right? It's like fast. It's fast, but it feels like okay, isn't that crazy? It's like this adventure that we're having together.
I know, that's exactly how I feel. It's a little strange, but if Peter's never coming back to me, it's at least nice to know I'm in the arms of a trusted friend.
You trust me? Uh-oh.
What, is something wrong?
I don't know. I'll be right back. Damn it!
Lois!
Peter? What are you doing here?
I got my memory back, and I love you, Lois. I want you and the kids back. I want our old life back.
I don't believe it. Sweetheart, it's you. You're back.
Ah, damn it! I'm back, Lois, and I'm sorry. I treated you so badly, but I hope you know it was only because I wasn't myself. I didn't just lose my memory. I lost my mind.
Claire!
Damn it!
Oh my God, Peter, I don't care. I don't care. I'm just overjoyed to have you back. Let's go home.
Damn it! Damn it! Damn it!